I mean, you're everyone already knows my name. Hey, it's Graham, guys.
Yeah.
What's up? The Euro and Travel Channel. We got Florida Man versus Detroit Man. Good to finally have you on here. No, I've been trying to reach you for like the last week, but I know you had family. I don't know what's going on with you, but best prayers, best wishes for you. Whatever's going
I really
on,
appreciate
I
that.
hope
Yeah,
it
really appreciate it.
works out. But
Yeah,
yeah,
can you hear me good?
yeah, I can hear you great. I can hear you great. You can't use
All
your
right.
headset? I normally know you normally use your headset, right? Or you use your headset and microphone?
Not on my phone. That's the problem. That's why I wanted to use my
Yeah.
PC. But
Yeah, I don't know why YouTube doesn't do that. I mean, I get what he's saying. I should probably like have a setup for Discord. I could just screen record it and like, share it, but I don't know. Seems a bit weird to me. But
yeah, that
I'll
would be
try to
better.
figure it out, I
Yeah.
guess. But let's wait for a couple people to get in here. So we'll just like, yeah, this is Omar right here,
Yeah.
and this is Graham right here. Excuse me. And yeah, guys, we're gonna be talking about different Trump policies. But did you support Harris or did you like Biden? You said you don't like the Democrat Party at all.
Um, I support them for the same reason a lot, but I do agree with a lot of the things that Harris said that she was going to do, and I agree with a lot of things that Biden did. I was surprised at how good a president Biden actually ended up being. Actually, like I actually was surprised. Just like if, course, that's a
Sorry,
good
you cut
thing.
out. You
That's
cut
a
out
good thing
a
for Trump.
second. What did you say? Sorry, you cut out a little bit. You're cutting out a little bit. A little bit.
Uh oh. Oh, fuck you, Tom Peckham. I am in a shed. I'm poor. Poor people live in sheds. You fuck. Anyways,
What were you saying? What did you say? Something good
hold on.
about Trump? Did I miss it?
No, not necessarily. I said if what he's doing, if he's actually like if he's actually ending wars, that's a good thing, is what I said.
Yeah, we can talk about some of the wars, but we'll go into the point. I like to wait a couple minutes until we get a little bit of people in here. And
Yeah.
but yeah, no. What did you like about Biden? I mean, let me ask you this: did you think what Biden said like was? I mean, we can talk about this as well. We can say what things that Trump said racist, what things did Biden say that was racist. If you want to go down that rabbit hole, but we don't necessarily have to go down that rabbit hole. But what I wanted to ask you was, do you think it was racist when Biden said, "You ain't black unless you vote for me"?
Um, a little bit, definitely. I wouldn't. I don't know if I would say racist. Maybe prejudice. It's a little bit different than being racist to me.
Or did you just
Um,
think that was like an old ignorant fella because like he's older than like how older white people are, like some of them that are like 80 or 90, they'll just like they're not like trying to be racist, but they'll be like saying like the most absurd like kind of shit like that sounds like they were like around during segregation.
yeah, that might be the case for Biden. Maybe he was just old and being a dumbass, but I just I
Would
don't
you
agree
give
with him
that
saying that. I think that was kind of. You
would you
said
give
what?
that same kind of pass to Trump or would you say that he's a straight up racist?
No, it's not. I'm not giving him a pass. It was prejudice for him to say that at the very least. I don't think it was racist necessarily. He didn't say um, he didn't say anything about like about black people as a culture. He said that you're
He
not
didn't
black
say
if you
anything
don't vote for me.
demeaning.
Right. He was just saying that it makes sense to vote for him because he's got black people. He's got the interest of black people at heart. He was trying to say that Trump is racist against black people. I'm not. Basically, is what he was trying to say. I don't like the way he said it. It sounded prejudice. It sounded prejudice. I didn't like that at all. And I wasn't going to vote for him, but I had to. Trump. Fuck that guy. So,
Do you think Trump is a racist?
um, I don't know for sure. It's hard to tell, but I definitely think he's got a
Prejudice?
lot of racial code and a lot of maybe prejudice, but he's got a lot of like racist ideas in his head. Because
What's
he's an
like a
old man
racist
too, who
idea
grew up.
he has in his head? Deporting illegal immigrants? That's another thing. I don't think we really talked about that. What you think about like illegal immigration?
Um, That's a that's a loaded topic. I know some things about it that I can talk about, but what'd you ask me right before that? I was my brain was working on something.
I was just saying,
Yeah,
like,
just
the only thing I was asking is, like, do you think
do I
Biden
think
was
Trump is
racist?
racist?
Do you think Trump was racist, et cetera, et cetera?
Um, ooh, somebody did just say the Central Park Five. Yeah, that's part of what I was about to bring up. But
Yeah, no, but
Trump has
I've already
done,
heard, I've
and
already had this debate with people before, and it's like this, like,
mhm,
I can give you this a comparison. Maybe you'll say, oh, there's a bunch of evidence, yada yada yada. I disagree with you, but it's just like when people say that Trump is a PDF file and there's no evidence. Just like there's no evidence against the Central Five that they're proven innocent or whatever like that. Like people,
but they
even if you are
weren't
proven,
they proven innocent?
even if you're not proven innocent, even if there's no evidence against you, people will still say, "Oh, well, if he is, arrest him." Like, if you have criminal accusations, people will still say, "Well, okay, do away with them." I mean, like at the end of the day, I mean, first off, talking about the Central Park Five, I wasn't really educated on the topic too much, but I looked it up the other day.
Okay,
I mean, it says they were originally convicted, or at least one of them was convicted, and then he got acquitted in like 2002. And apparently Trump, was still saying, "Oh, put him away, put him away, put him away." At the end of the day, like I don't know how you can really call that racism. I mean, I'm sure maybe you can call it racism because they're black. That's an easy cop out to go to. That's an easy thing to say, but at the end of the day, I think you would want that for any kind of criminals. Like, I mean, it's kind of hard to say like someone's a racist. I mean, I'm not saying it doesn't make you a racist for sure. I'm sure you can still hire black and brown people, but it's kind of hard to like imagine someone being a racist if they're like hiring black people and like helping out certain people, certain races that are not white. Oh, where'd he go? What happened?
my bad.
Okay, there you go.
I'm
No,
back.
you're back.
Yeah,
Did you hear what I said? I'm not saying it doesn't make you racist, but it's kind of hard to
yeah.
like say that someone's racist when they're employing black and brown people and people of other races. Like, there's many stories
No,
about Trump
okay. So
not just
employing,
employing, but helping them, like directly helping like homeless people, giving them
fair
money
enough.
that are black and brown.
That's fair enough. But there's this thing that racist people do a lot, where they will be helpful
Say they
to the
have a
race that
black
they're
friend or
racist
something.
against. Right. It's along that idea, and that's not necessarily. I'm not saying that that's what Trump is doing because I don't have the evidence for this. But like I said, there's a lot of things that he said and done in his past that make it seem like he is probably racist. Not just that, but he openly accepts support from people who are white nationalists. He openly does not condemn these people. He accepts their support. He likes when these people talk good about him. You know. So
Well, what
if
does a
it's
white
like me
nationalist make
personally,
you? Is that just makes you white and you're a nationalist? Because that's I don't really like people use the word white nationalist and they kind of associate racism with it. I don't really know
because it's dangerous and it leads to racism.
but like what does that mean? That just means you're a white person that's a
Nationalism,
nationalist? Here, I'm looking it up right
when
now.
you yeah, so white
Okay, here's the
nationalists have
definition of
a
it.
belief.
Okay, the
Can I
definition
say
is a
this
bit
before you
racist.
before
Yeah, go ahead.
right, I was
Sorry.
going to say before, yeah, they believe in a white ethno state where they really want just the white race to be in the country. That's what a white nationalist is. A nationalist is different, just somebody who just like has patriotism, believes in their country. But white nationalism or any kind of ethnic nationalism or even religious nationalism, like there's Christian nationalism behind the Trump movement too, right? Both of these have like exclusionary factors to them because they're based on one group as opposed to just the nation. But
Got you.
that's why it leads to racism or to exclusion in some ways. Yeah,
Let me address this comment real quick. He's struggling to be polite. No, I'm polite to everyone. I try to be as polite as possible to any and everyone. Like he doesn't really like Trump. It doesn't really bother me. Like we're all Americans at the end of the day. But guys, if you have any questions or any comments you want to say, either drop a super chat or just make it a really good comment. We'll talk about it. But I do agree with a bit what you said. But I do want to read the definition of white
yeah,
nationalist. But this is Wikipedia. This isn't like some specific dictionary. It just says white nationalists seek to ensure the survival of the white race and the cultures
yep,
of historical white nations that hold the white people should maintain the majority and mainly white countries maintain their dominance of political
Yep.
and economic life, and their culture should be foremost. Well, to be fair, that is like the current state of the United States. I can kind of see how that leads into racism, but also I want to
Yep.
talk a little bit about some historical, black figures like Muhammad Ali. I'm pretty sure this was from Muhammad Ali because I was watching one of these like videos on Instagram the other day, and he was like preaching like I think this was around like Martin Luther King Jr. like times. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but he was like preaching. He's like, all the brown and black people, they need to like. This is him saying it as like as his race,
Hmm.
not as a white man. He was saying like we need to listen. I don't believe in this. Like I'm not one of those people that are like, yeah, we need to keep
Yeah.
races separate. Like I'm not against mixed
Yeah.
race
What was he?
children
What
or
was he
anything like
saying?
that.
Yeah.
But he was
Yeah.
basically
Yeah.
saying he was against mixing races. He's like, yeah, we need to keep the black children. We need to keep the black race, black, and we need to keep our brown babies brown. And he's like, no black
Yeah.
man would
There's.
want to like mix races and stuff like that. I mean,
Yeah. I have personal experience with that ideology growing up. I don't really agree with that. But I do agree with it to an extent. I understand why they're saying that. And it's like it's a similar idea to nationalism, preserving your race. But the difference is that black people were actually under attack. Black people were being threatened. They were trying to kill us. So making sure that you make black babies ensures our race's survival. You know what I mean? Like actually.
okay, that
And
was
like
Malcolm X. Maybe my apologies, guys. You don't have to call me a moron.
yeah, I don't know
Relax.
I don't know who it was, but yeah, that's an honest mistake to make. People who I'm not even that educated on it, I wouldn't have known either. But yeah, that's my opinion on that. I don't think nationalism or ethnic nationalism is a good idea. But when it's not being nationalist to just make sure that your race survives. It's different when you're trying to like put this thing on the entire nation as opposed to just your race. Like that's like saying Palestinians are would be that's like calling Palestinians racist for saying they want to make sure Palestinians survive, have Palestinian babies with Palestinian people to make
That's
sure
what
our
I'm
race
saying.
survives.
Majority of
You know,
countries. Well, here's my personal belief. Maybe I can qualify as a white nationalist. Whatever you got. I wouldn't like. I wouldn't
I hope
character. I
not.
wouldn't put labels on myself like that. I wouldn't put
Yeah.
labels on myself like that. But you guys can say what you want. But here's my personal beliefs. I wouldn't want to come to any country in Africa and make it like a white or Chinese country. Just like I don't want Italy to be like an Arabic or a Muslim country, and I don't I want to keep. I understand the
No.
U.S. is a melting pot. I'm not saying to exterminate a race or any bullshit like that. The U.S. is different. It's very different, but specifically countries like European countries, African countries, Asian countries. I wouldn't want to come there and like remove the race and make it all biracial. And I mean, like I said, I have nothing against mixed children. I really don't care, but like
Hmm.
it's just like I wouldn't want to like come to another country and like change it. Like I think America. I like the way
Colonize.
America is now, huh?
You don't want to colonize. You don't want to
I do want to
colonize it, Graham. It's
colonize.
okay. Yeah. No,
No,
fair
that's a
enough.
whole nother
Yeah.
debate. Some people say that
Yeah.
the Vikings were in America before the Native Americans, or they say there are other people in America before the natives. But that's a whole nother discussion.
Even
I
if
don't
they
really know
visited,
too much.
yeah, I don't know too much about that either. But even if they visited, it's well known. I feel like it's well known that this land belonged to the Native Americans, the indigenous Americans. I don't know. I don't know. That's a silly thing to me. To this whole
I don't know. I'm
we're the
just
Native
saying. Some
Americans
people
thing,
say like the
guys.
Mexicans were here before. They say like this and
No,
that. The
Mexicans
Vikings were
were
here before.
well. Mexicans owned large amount of territory of what we now call the United States of
Yeah,
America.
like
Their
Texas,
territory,
California.
Texas, California, I think Nevada, Arizona, I think New Mexico, and some of those like it was like this that like whole southeast or southwest, my bad. Yeah, the whole southwest like belonged to Mexico. That's why all that Mexican style architecture is still there. All those a lot of the homes in California are like Mexican style homes, and maybe not Mexican style. Maybe I'm
Someone
getting a little
said
bit wrong.
Colorado. I
Somebody
don't
can
know about that honestly.
I don't know. I don't know if it reached north. I'm not sure, but I saw the old map of it. I saw the map of it before. But yeah, that's why people say that about Mexicans. Mexicans are part part of the Native Americans. I think I don't know how long Mexicans have been here or the Mexican culture, but I do think they're descended from Native Americans. It seems like from everything that I know about history.
I'm not here to speak for him, but someone asked if you're an immigrant or not. Neither. I'm not an immigrant. I
Am
was
I an
born in the
immigrant?
United
No,
States. He was born in the United
I am
States.
not an immigrant. Yep, yep, yep.
He's from Detroit.
According to Trump, anybody with birthright citizenship is an immigrant and needs to be deported. So maybe we're shit out of luck, Graham.
He didn't
We might want to
say.
be
I mean,
careful.
you understand that wouldn't affect us. Both of your parents are legal citizens, right?
Yes, I know. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
But let's start.
But
Let's
yeah.
talk with that first talking point we were saying. Like you were saying,
Hmm.
Trump doesn't keep his, his word on his principles, and you're saying he's not an anti-war president. Like, what makes you think that? I'm just really curious. Like, what wars has he
Well,
started?
he was claim he was claiming that he was anti-war during his run, while also threatening to invade other countries with military.
Are you talking
Is the
about
thing. So
Canada and Greenland?
yeah, and Panama to take the Panama Canal. Those are all acts of war, right? Um,
It's not a
not just that.
declaration of war, but he was
It's
kind of
not a
trolling
declaration of
them. He
war.
wasn't being really that serious about it.
Either way, it's antagonistic, which can lead to war. You know what I mean? Why would you openly
Canada and
antagonize these
Greenland
countries, and
and
for what
Panama are
reason?
not going to war with us. We would crush them like ants.
That's not the point that I'm making. Maybe we would crush them in a war, but it doesn't mean that it wouldn't lead to war. It would lead to unnecessary death if you're like invading these countries. They're going to defend themselves. They're going to call for help probably, and whoever can defend them will probably try, and that's
That
going
is
to
a
lead to
great point.
unnecessary. You see what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
if
but
that
he is
happens,
antagonistic.
if
I agree with you
luck,
there. You can say
luckily enough it hasn't
antagonistic,
happened, but if somebody
but
gets
the
the
Panama
balls
was
or gets
also being
tired enough
taken
of
over by
Trump,
China.
say that one more time.
The Panama Canal is, I think, still currently is kind of, or maybe he did something I don't remember, but the Panama Canal is being taken over by China because it's a trading hub for them.
I
And
don't
the
know anything
U.S.
about
gave
that.
the Panama Canal, not to cater to China. I agree with Eric's comments, Tom Pepin's comments. As much as you don't like Dustley, I think those are valid comments. And also,
I
being antagonistic or like
keep
acting
thinking
like
needs to keep thinking about me. That's interesting. I don't know how strong America is. It's funny, but
acting like you want acting like you want problems with someone and actually causing problems are two different things. Like he
hmm
has been antagonistic. I'm not gonna debate you on that, but like I would like to talk about some of the wars he's ended. I'd love to go over some of them. Some of these wars we weren't directly involved in, but
yes,
he was definitely a main. He had an involvement in them. America had an involvement in them, stopping the escalation. Specifically, Trump himself. Would you agree that I mean, I'll list these off and then I'll ask you this question. Well, the first one I wanted to talk about
yeah. I'm
was I
not
don't
educated on these, by the way, just so you know. So this
yeah,
is
no, you
more going
can
to be just a question and answer. Yeah.
I definitely recommend you go check out Pakistan's Twitter like after we're done with this because
Hmm.
Pakistan said they would like to recommend Donald Trump for the Nobel Peace Prize. I don't know if you're familiar, but earlier this year Pakistan and India were shooting each other with rockets and they were causing
Yeah.
conflict with each other and they were literally about to go into nuclear war. I mean, you can argue maybe they weren't about to, but they're both nuclearized countries. They both have nukes,
Yeah.
and Trump
Yeah.
stepped
They're
in,
being pretty
and
aggressive.
some people argue. They say, I'm not going to give you a one-sided story. I'll tell you what the Democrats and the leftists say. Some people say, well, India said that Trump didn't do shit. Well, okay, that's cool, but
That is what they both said. India and Pakistan both said that Trump had no involvement in that, but
no, if you go on
in their
Pakistan's
ceasefire.
Twitter, the official Twitter of Pakistan, they literally said
Hmm.
we recommend President Trump for intervening between India and Pakistan. We recommend him for a Nobel Peace Prize. That's directly on their Twitter. I didn't believe it at first. I had to go
I
to their
mean,
Twitter and I seen it on there. And second off, I haven't seen any evidence that India said Trump didn't do shit because what is the name of the Indian leader? Model or something? Model loves Donald Trump. I'm not gonna lie with you there. That's the first kind of war that he
yeah, he
ended.
does. That's fair.
And the second one, let's go to the second one. This was a 35-year war. This was between Armenia and Azerbaijan. This was the 35-year war. I mean, this one is 100% Trump. There's no really debating that Trump did it. Trump didn't do anything. He literally got the
Yep.
president of Azerbaijan and Armenia. They came to the White House. They shook hands. Like Trump put his hand in the middle of them and basically like was like, "All right, you guys are gonna shake hands. You're gonna sign a peace treaty." They signed their peace treaty at the White House with Trump sitting in between them, and they ended a 35-year war. Like that was between Azerbaijan and Armenia. And many people will say, well, Armenia took a bunch of, or no, Azerbaijan took a bunch of Armenia's land like 2 years ago. Okay, Trump wasn't president, and that happens a lot in war. At least the war is ended. Prime Minister Modi, India. Yeah, that's correct. So that's the second war Trump ended. Now
Hmm.
let's go into the third war. I believe it was I think it was Congo. Let's see. I have my computer right in front of me. The third
He
war
is
was.
also funding a genocide. That is true, despite how it.
Well, speaking of that, that was honestly going to be on the list as potential seventh and eighth. I mean, that I will give you that one, but that cannot be directly
He's
blamed
not
on
ending any.
Trump.
Do you know? Okay, so not in that country. So I'll give you these six. I'll just concede to these six because I don't know anything about these. I haven't read up on these, so this is really just going to be you telling me that he did it and me being like, yeah, good for him. Honestly, so let's talk about that then. He is literally funding Israel. He's literally funding Israel, their weaponry, their war, and not I'm so sorry, not war, genocide in the Gaza Strip. They have last I checked, they have destroyed 92% of the architecture of the buildings in Palestine. 92%. They're literally just raising it to the ground, and Donald Trump is completely behind this. He's the most to be, and honestly, he's the most Zionist president we probably have ever had. He has more Zionist connections than any fucking president probably ever in the White
Okay,
House.
there's a couple of things I
Which,
can definitely say about this. You want to keep
hmm
saying, or you want me to speak about
go
it? Well,
ahead,
first thing
go
I
ahead,
can
go ahead, go
say
ahead.
is President Biden is, the president that gave the most money to Israel in American history. Second off, I don't know how you can blame Donald Trump for funding Israel when every single president for the last 50, 60 years has all funded any conflicts Israel's involved in. Third off,
I mean, fuck them all. I don't think we should be funding Israel, in my opinion. I
yeah,
don't
I
think it's
agree with
good.
you, but I don't see how we
I'm just
can.
saying he's saying he's anti-war. I'm just saying he's saying he's anti-war, but then he's funding a genocide.
Yeah, because we're allies with Israel, and every president has done this. And if
We don't
we,
have to be. We're the strongest country in the world, according to Mr. Goddamn Tom Pepin down here. We're the strongest country on the planet. So if
well, to be
if Israel
fair,
wanted to get
he
some,
he's
if we
also
wanted
the first
to,
president that's made a ceasefire between Gaza Strip, Palestine, whatever you want to say, and Israel. I realized that only lasted for eight
as we,
days.
yeah,
I realize it only
okay,
lasted for 8 days, but there's other news I want to bring up. Apparently, Hamas
okay,
and Israel are back on the talking table about negotiating a new peace deal. So that
that's
could
not going to last
possibly
long.
be.
The Israeli government has no interest in peace with Palestine or Hamas. They want to wipe them off the map. That is their goal. That was their stated goal when they were started.
Well, we'll have to
That's
see what
been
happens. Do I think
that's been
Trump
the
Gaza will
goal.
happen? Possibly. Trump Gaza may happen. There might be a brand
That's
new shiny Trump
ridiculous. Stop.
hotel there.
You're rage baiting. Stop rage baiting me.
I'm not rage baiting
No,
you, but if we're
you.
gonna talk about
Go.
Gaza, we have to talk about the fact that I realize that Gaza is not Palestine, so I'm not saying that it was the entire country of Palestine, but
Hmm.
Hamas did attack Israel on October 7th, and I know what you're gonna say. You're gonna say, "Well, look at the history. Before that, Israel attacked Hamas like 40 years
That's
ago."
not what I was gonna say. That's not what I was gonna say. I was gonna say, first of all, history is a good point to bring up. But I was gonna bring up the fact that Hamas is a terrorist organization, but the people did not know that they were terrorists. They didn't know that they were electing terrorists. That wasn't the intention of the Palestinian people. As far as I know, they didn't show any signs of being terrorists before they were elected. So I don't know. I think that's a misnomer. Also, I don't know how true this is, so I'm not even gonna bring that up. Never mind. But yeah, I don't think they knew that about Hamas, and I don't think Hamas should. Yeah, I don't think Hamas deserves any like defense here or anything. I don't
Trump
know.
Gaza
Yeah.
number one. I like that
That's funny.
comment. Hit the like,
Trump Gaza number
subscribe
one.
button. Drop some super chats if you guys have any questions,
The
comments,
the
things
i-
you'd
the
like to read about.
idea the idea. Yeah, I'm so sorry. Go ahead. Say
No,
that
go ahead,
again.
go ahead. I'm
Drop
done.
some. No, drop some super chats, guys. Join the Discord.
Hey,
I'm
I
sorry, I
appreciate
interrupted
that.
that. Yeah, but yeah, Trump Gaza's ridiculous idea. That's a that's come on, man. I don't see how you can say that anything. I don't see how you can say Trump is pro peace. The antagonism alone, like even if everything that he's doing, even if it's just trolling, he's not really racist. He's not really anti-Semitic or whatever the fuck. If he's not any of these things, if he's not yeah, if he's not
Even
this
if he
evil guy, he's
ended
just
six
trolling. He's just
wars,
joking.
even if he ends 8 wars,
It's
because potentially he could potentially end Ukraine and he could potentially end Gaza. What if Trump ends the Israel and Gaza war and he gives Gaza back to the
what is he
Palestinians?
ending at this point? At the point where they destroyed 92% of the land, dude. 92%.
Okay,
That's
who was
What
the
are you ending at
president
this
when they
point?
destroyed the majority of Gaza?
I don't know how much of Gaza has been destroyed. Well, which person was president? I don't think that's relevant at
It
all.
is relevant because Biden was
Why?
president for 3 years. He never even got a ceasefire put on the table. He never even attempted a
Okay,
negotiation.
I'm not here to fight for Biden, brother.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, who President Biden was the
Trump
president.
Trump said he was anti-war. Biden didn't come in saying, "Hey,
Exactly.
I'm
That's why
anti-war.
he
I'm gonna
ended
I'm
six
gonna."
wars. You conceded to the fact he ended 6 wars, and he's trying to end 2 more.
Well, really, what I'm conceding to is that I'm not educated on those wars, so I can't really talk about that. That's what I'm conceding to. I don't
When you
know that
say
he ended those wars.
educated, you
I
mean you
can't.
can't think of anything bad to say about it, basically.
No, I mean I don't know anything about those situations, about those wars. What the wars is the first time I've heard that talking point. So I don't
It's a
know what
pretty
the
common MAGA
I only
talking
know
point, to
of the
be
wars
fair
that you.
with you.
That's fair, but to be fair, most of the MAGA people I talk to end up running before we get to any good conversation.
Moderate people are running
So,
from you?
oh, you said moderate? I thought you said MAGA.
Oh, MAGA. No, I thought you said moderate. I don't really see
No, no,
MAGA
no, no.
people running.
MAGA.
There's lots of fake MAGA people out there. I don't know if you know. I'm not to
Hmm.
call you out. I'd love to have you back on my show, but I don't know if you know who Destiny is. I hate to keep bringing this man up, but he's like the trending topic this week on the live streams. You
You
know who
said
Destiny
Destiny?
is?
Destiny? Did you say Destiny like the live
Yeah,
streamer
yeah, that
Destiny?
Destiny.
Yeah, I know who he is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
apparently
yeah.
his ex-girlfriend, I mean, he has plenty of videos with this girl. She was also on Fresh and Fit. Apparently she thought I was a fake MAGA, but I asked her lots of questions about Trump and politics and she didn't seem to know too much. But Lauren, if you're watching this, I would love to have you back on. I think it would be, maybe more in your suit if we did like a 3 or 4 way show with the other attorney, Chris. Because Chris is an attorney, so that would be a good show maybe, but Vance
Probably,
or
yeah.
Kamala? Tell me why and why not for both. Okay, well, you want
Wait,
me to
for
go first?
president? Is that what he means?
Yeah, I'll let you go first. Vance or Kamala? Tell me why
Um,
or why not. What do you think? Vance? Yes or no? We'll start there.
Definitely. If it has to be one or the other, obviously Kamala. Um, Vance is a fucking tool and shill for Peter Thiel and the rest of the fucking
Exactly what I would
techno
expected you to
brotherhood.
say. Yeah.
He's like, no, literally, he was like bought and paid for by Peter Thiel. You can look all this
No,
up.
I know
He
his
like,
story. I know
he's
that he got his first successful
yeah,
business deals with Peter Thiel and stuff like that. And I know like his
yeah,
history of it. Yeah, but
promoted by him and everything.
But I
I,
hope
I
you
don't
do
I don't think
realize
he's for
Kamala
the
is not going to
people.
be an anti-Israel president. Just so you're clear, like that's never been one of her
No, she's
claims.
probably no, she won't. I don't think she will.
She'll do the same
I don't
shit
think
as
she
every
will
other
be
president. She'll
anti-Israel.
fund Israel. Ubisoft forever. What the
Yeah.
hell is Ubisoft? Let me look this up. Ubisoft? You mean the
Wait.
gaming company? Some guy said Ubisoft forever. But let's continue what we were saying. So, why you think Kamala would continue to fund Israel? Correct?
Yeah, I'm pretty
Sorry,
sure
you
she
cut out
would.
for a second.
I don't see why. I said, yeah, I'm pretty sure she would. Sorry. My
No, it's
Wi-Fi
okay. It's
and
okay.
shit is fucked up here. And like, what's his name said, I do live in a shed, so you guys got to bear
I'm
with me a little
bearing
bit.
with you. I appreciate your time.
No, yeah, no problem, no problem. Let me see if I can find a good outlet to plug my phone into.
Say her name correctly. He didn't
Um,
say her name correctly. He's a big Kamala supporter.
you didn't say her name correctly. It's Kamala.
Kamala.
That's funny.
Kamala.
That's
Well,
funny.
I guess I don't have to say her name
Kamala, yeah.
because, I mean, I don't know what kind of super chat question is that because Kamala, whatever the fuck her name is, Miss Harris, I'll just refer to her as Miss Harris. Miss Harris
That's
said she's
respectful.
not going to run for president in 2028. The real question should have been
So
AOC versus Vance.
I don't think is AOC even old enough yet.
Yeah, I think she's. Well, I think she's either 33 or 36. Let me look up her age.
Okay, 36. She's old enough, but
33, she would
I
still be
once.
old. She's 35, so yeah, right now
So
she's
yeah,
just the age just now.
the exact age. Yeah. So
Well, I
yeah, I
do
probably
like
wouldn't.
her
I wouldn't
age.
want to vote for her. I wouldn't want. I do like her age, but I wouldn't want to vote for her either. To be honest,
Why? Why don't you like AOC?
I think she'd chill out to Israel too. To be
Well,
honest,
you said Kamala would
I'm
show
pretty
out
sure.
to Israel, and you would still vote for Kamala.
Well, that's if the only alternative is JD Vance. I'd rather vote for Kamala um, over JD Vance in that instance, just because Vance will sell us, bro. Vance will sell us out immediately for money or for whatever.
I mean, we
He'll
are,
do
in
whatever
your own
the techno
terms, we're
bros
already
want.
sold out.
Yeah, I'm just saying, it'd just be more selling. I don't think Vance actually cares about the
No,
people in the
Gabe,
United
I am
States.
in my
Vance
20s. Sorry to interrupt you. Someone was asking me.
Vance 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 says and does whatever is convenient. It seems for him to get political favor. Um, that's what he did to get on Trump's good side, and because he hated Trump at first, if y'all remember, he
What
didn't like
about
anything about
Jasmine
Trump.
Crockett?
Uh, Jasmine Crockett, I don't know enough about her. I kind of like her personality, but I don't know enough about her to say I'd vote for her.
No, I'm not
Um,
really a guy that votes based on party. Believe it or not, I would vote for a Democrat if they had a good enough
mhm.
policies. I do see a couple good policies about Jasmine Crockett, but I'm in the same boat as you. I don't know too much about her, but I did hear that she's against. She wants to get rid of property tax. Rion, thank you for the super chat. Rion
I
Mesta.
don't know. I
She's
don't
heavily
know.
against Trump, and she calls. I think she's also anti-Israel. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm not anti-Israel. I love Israel. I still want us to be allies with Israel. I just don't believe in giving, like a lot. I don't believe in giving hundreds of billions of dollars to them for.
No, not I. When Israel, I don't believe in giving money to any countries who are engaging in the kind of activities that
Why? Why
Israel
would we?
engages in.
If we
Why
can
would we
if we
what?
can do a fair deal, sorry to interrupt you, but I'm just
Yeah.
thinking. If we can do a fair deal, here's the only way I would give Israel money because they do have the number one intelligence agency in the world. Here's the deal I would do for them. I'm not going to put a specific number. I'm just going to give an example because I think a billion is a huge number. I can't really even comprehend $1 billion if I'm going to be honest. I don't think most people can. That's 1,000 millions. But let's for an example, if we could give them maybe 500 million a year and we could get like intelligence on certain countries or we're actually getting something for our money and they tell us what we get for our money, then sure, I'm up for it. But when we're just blindly
Maybe.
funding countries, I'm not really up for that. But like I said, I don't think
Yeah,
we should
that's yeah.
I don't think we should like what's the word for it? Cut
Cuck.
these
We
people
shouldn't
off
cuck for
completely.
Israel. We shouldn't be cucking for Israel. No, we should stop that immediately.
Nah,
It's
Vance wouldn't sell us
I
out. He's a veteran and truly cares for the American people. If he didn't care, he wouldn't go around speaking to the populace the way he has. I agree with you.
Oh my
The one
God.
thing I love about
Everything
man,
he says sounds soulless. I do not understand. Hold on, I gotta say this real quick. I do not understand how you people think there's any sort of real passion in anything that man says. If you guys think that Kamala sounded flat and fake, like everything, there's no change in tone ever when Trump and Vance are speaking. They sound like car salesmen. They sound literally like fucking fucked up,
there
ghetto,
shouldn't
ugly
be a
car
change in
salesmen.
tone.
No, what I mean is that if you're gonna hear like inflections and tones of people who mean what they say, you're gonna hear the differences when
Kamala
they're
talks
passionate
like
about
this.
something.
Hey guys, we gotta
No,
get.
okay, whatever you're saying about how Kamala talks, yeah, for sure,
She
sure,
talks
fine.
over
That's, but
emotional.
I said that. I didn't disagree with how you guys say she talks. I don't agree with it, but I'm just saying, like, if that's how it is, if that's how you feel about how Kamala talks, and you see that she, because of the way that she talks, she's,
Why do you
soulless or
think
whatever, she's
people call her an
dishonest.
alcoholic? It's because of the way she talks. She talks with so much emotion and
I've
inflection in her
literally,
voice.
I've literally never heard. Thank you. I will shake my dreads maybe later. Give me a second.
I
Let me
do
own
agree
them
with that
first.
comment, but I would have to
But
find
yeah.
evidence. Kamala changes her voice for black people. It's embarrassing. She absolutely does, actually. There's literally
Now the
videos of
Democrats like to
this.
say that she's code switching. People like to say that she was code switching. I don't know. I'd have to hear it to see. Because like if you're changing like your accent, that's different than speaking in code, right?
Why
And
is Trump
also when
assaulting
I
Brazil? That's an interesting question. I'll be honest. I think that's
probably because
Brazilian
he's
money.
ugly
What
and
is
fat.
R? What is R money? I think that's Brazilian dollars. Let's see. I'm
Rubles?
pretty sure that's Brazil. Yep, that's the
No,
Brazilian real. That is the Brazilian real.
real.
Well, first off, I want to say shout out Brazil. I know many Brazilians, and most of them are mad about Trump and mad about the situation. But I think I'm not 100% sure. Like I said, I'm not really up to date with all the tariffs because there's so many countries. But the main reason, I mean, you can quote me and give me examples if I'm wrong when I say this, but the main reason that I
She
believe we
didn't
have
switch her to Misty. Yeah.
the main reason I believe we have tariffs on Brazil is because they had tariffs on us first that are higher. I'm gonna look it up right now. I got my computer right in front of me. I think there will be a deal with Brazil very soon, though. To be honest with you, if I had to guess the next tariff deal, maybe Brazil tariffs. Maybe the Brazil tariff deal. I don't know. Here, I'm reading the Reuters article right now. This will tell me a little bit about it. I'm
Okay.
sure all you Democrats love Reuters. You won't criticize me. You won't say it's Fox News.
No, Reuters is a fair. I think they're fair with reporting.
He slapped 50% tariffs on Brazilian imports earlier this month in response to what he called a witch hunt against his Brazilian ally, former President Jair Bolsonaro, which is on trial on charges of plotting a coup following his election loss. Hoopist. Okay, I
Mhm.
see what his comments mean. I don't know about this situation. This sounds, to be honest with you, this
Yeah.
sounds like a personal thing with Trump. This doesn't really sound like an economic thing with the U.S. Either way, I'm
Yeah.
sure it'll be worked out rather quickly. I guess he wants this guy out of prison for whatever reason. I don't know.
Oh
That
yeah. So
sounds
you
like
want
the
to talk about
reason. I don't know
immigration?
it. Sorry.
Did you want to talk about immigration still?
Yeah, we can talk about immigration. What are you for open borders or closed borders or what are your thoughts?
Um, the only way I'd be for open borders is if the world was at peace, if everybody had some sort of like agreement with each other or some shit. But the world's not like that. So I do believe that strong borders are very necessary. Um, I don't think that Trump is necessarily making our borders safer. I don't know if I don't think he's making our borders safer.
Even if there's less
Only
crossings and even if people aren't getting trafficked as much at the borders, less
I was just
crossings of
about this.
illegal
I
immigrants
was
equals less
listen less.
trafficking
Uh
of
huh.
humans. Salute Burnell, by the way. Sorry to interrupt you. Salute Burnell in the chat.
I don't think it necessarily. I don't think it necessarily means that there's less trafficking happening. So these crossings. Okay, so the crossings that have come down are the crossings that they would have caught of people coming regular people coming over here, not traffickers, right? Human traffickers are the ones who aren't getting caught. They're taking the secret ways. They're taking whatever fucking ways they used to get over here, but they're not going through the regular channels. Those crossings have slowed down, and other crossings that have stopped, legal crossings that have stopped, are tourism crossings. That's stopped as well, right? That's gone way down as well too. So he, even if he is
Well, the crossings
strengthening
I'm
the border,
referring to is illegal
it's
immigrants crossing.
mhm,
I'm not talking about
yeah.
tourists or people that are
I
going
know,
through
I
the
know.
port or anything.
I'm just saying those have gone down too. I'm just saying that. I'm just saying that. Like what he's doing is creating an environment where people don't want to come to America. It's fear, and he's gotten to this point by doing things that are either borderline or full on illegal. Which
Like,
and
what has
even
he
if
done
they're
that's illegal?
he's not so okay. Jesus Christ! Now we're getting to the constitutional stuff, which I
It's
don't
with
really want to get
ethics.
into. Yeah, I don't want to get into that too much because I need to. I'm not educated enough to say it off the top of my head. I need to have the information in front of me, and this setup right now is not working out for me. I need to be up here upstairs so that I can be on the phone with you. Just because of the signal is shitty in the basement, but that's where my computer is. So, anyways, the point is, going back to immigration. Um, at least I can talk. I can say this as much. I can say this. He's definitely violated the 14th Amendment, the right to due process. He's definitely violated that several
What
times.
about the
If not,
expedited? Okay, wait. Let me ask you a question. What is due
uh huh.
process to you, and what is due process to the 14th Amendment?
Well, to me and the 14th Amendment, it's the same thing. It's just the right to be heard in court, the right to what? Hold on a second. I can't remember the exact terminology for it, but it's
To go to court.
just
Yeah.
basically the ability to fight for your innocence,
Okay.
to express, yeah, to show your case
So
in
there's
court.
two
That's it.
things I'd like to say about that. First off, in the
Hmm.
1990s, Bill Clinton, the Democrat Bill Clinton, he passed a law which
The
said,
Democrat.
expedited.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Nothing. That was funny how you said him. The Democrat is just a funny title. The Democrat Bill Clinton.
I mean, I don't even have to say the Democrat.
Yeah,
Everyone
yeah.
knows Bill
Go
Clinton
ahead.
is
My
a
bad.
Democrat. But
Yeah, yeah.
Bill Clinton passed a law in the 90s. I
I see you,
definitely
Tom Peppin.
suggest you look this up. Yeah, I'll read Xavier's chat in a second. But it's called the Expedited Removal Act. And,
Yeah,
it says that you don't have to give them a court case or any of that bullshit. It says if they're
under
caught a
certain
couple.
circumstances, right?
Yeah, the circumstances are this. If you get caught, I believe, like 300 or 400 miles away from the border and you're not out of this perimeter yet, you can be deported without a court hearing and without due process. And the second act that is enacted right now is the Alien Enemies Act. And I know what you're going to say. This is only for a time of war, or this is only for a military invasion. Well, the Alien Enemies Act does say it's for a time of war, but it
Hmm.
also talks about invasion. If you look up the definition of invasion, it just means an encroachment of a certain group of people on a piece of land. It doesn't say anything about it doesn't say anything about military or anything like that. Invasion doesn't have to be by a
I guess,
military.
but that's not. I don't think that's how. I don't think that's how people interpret invasion.
That's not how Democrats interpret it, but that
That's.
is
I don't
how
think that's how.
the Supreme. It went. By the
I
way,
don't think
this
that's
went to
how
the Supreme
anybody
Court.
interpreted invasion before this point. I don't think
The
anybody
Supreme
interpreted
Court
invasion.
interpreted it the same
Yeah.
way I interpreting it. This the
Hmm.
the Alien Enemies Act was on pause. It was on pause for 1 month, and then they went to court in the summer of this year. I forget what month it was. It was
Hmm.
some month in the summer. So they paused the Alien Enemies Act. It couldn't be used because they said blah blah blah, invasion this, invasion that. Well, they went back to the
Hmm.
Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court said, yeah, Trump can use this. There is an invasion going on. It fits the legal definition. And then he continued to deport people. But let me read this chat real quick. Why didn't the other side, instead of add to the debate, why didn't the other side, instead of add to the debate? I don't want a joker in office because the president is supposed to be taken seriously. What are you talking about? Can you make if you're going to drop a super chat, can you at least make it a little bit,
Make it coherent.
yeah, exactly. I mean, it's easy to call him a joker. I mean, this guy, he hates Trump, and he's literally agreeing with me on their super chat. So if you drop another super chat, make it a little bit more coherent.
Frequency. I look slow because I'm high, and I probably am slow, but that's great.
Guest How is the new Captain America woke? I don't know. I didn't see the Captain America. Did you see it?
I don't know. I don't fucking like Marvel. I don't watch Marvel movies mostly,
Yeah, I
not
don't
anymore,
watch
not
them
since
either.
Endgame. So I don't
But
know.
yeah,
I will
that
tell
was
you one thing:
my.
Superman was not woke. I will tell you guys
Yes, it
that
was
much. I don't know
woke.
why. I don't know why you guys hate on Superman so much. It was so good. It was so good. It
It might have been
was
a
a
good
great movie.
movie, but Superman was not an illegal immigrant. He was an alien.
Yeah, nobody said the only nobody said Superman was an illegal immigrant, dude. That's literally just
Maybe it's
like
propaganda. To be
nobody put
fair,
that
I
in the
didn't
movie.
watch it.
Nobody put that in the movie. Yeah, there was some there was some allusion I think to the Israel Palestine conflict, and I think that's why most people said it was woke. But it was Superman being Superman, man. People need to chill. That's what he
There,
does. He helps
that's
people. He's
interesting
nice.
because the
That's
way
what
I
he's
heard it
supposed to
was
do.
woke was because they said Superman was an illegal immigrant or something, which I thought was ridiculous. But I didn't know if that was true. I didn't see the movie.
Yeah, people were saying he was an illegal immigrant because I don't know because of his origin story. I guess I don't know why else people would say that, but his origin story has always been him being an illegal immigrant. That's he's literally an alien from another
A
country.
space alien is not an illegal immigrant, but I mean, I guess that's
It
a funny way of looking
it
at it.
is it is it's just not to a specific country. It's to the whole planet. It's still that alien immigrated here illegally. Like what
Here we go.
his
Tom
parents brought him.
Pepin
His
says,
parents brought him over the border. His parents brought him over the border when he was a baby, dude. He didn't have a choice.
"What border? He dropped in from outer space. E.T.
The
was the
border of
best
the fucking
illegal.
atmosphere. The border of the atmosphere. That border up there. You see that?
E.T. was the best illegal ever. He learned English and went home."
That's funny. That's actually kind of funny.
Don't tell me they replaced the white Captain America and made him black. Is that really true? What do you think about that? What do you think about
Kind
them?
of. So in the comic books, this is silly. I don't even think we should be talking
There
about this.
are
It's
black
dumb. But
superheroes. Like it would be like if we took Black Panther and made him white. How would
deport
you guys
Superman.
feel?
It's this nigga's. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say that
No,
on live.
you're good.
This
You're
guy
good.
said deport Superman. But Black Captain America happened in the comics. It was obviously Steve Rogers was originally Captain America, but um, Falcon became Captain America is what happened. It wasn't like, oh, let's replace him with a black guy. Falcon became Captain America, and actually there was this point in the Captain America series where they did a reference to the Tuskegee experiments. I can't remember what it's called. I think I'm using the wrong name, but there were these experiments they did on black people where they were like injecting them with syphilis and shit like that, experimenting on them. This really happened in real life, and they took that and put it in the history of Captain America, saying that they were the first ones they tested the super serum on was black people. The racist American government tested the super soldier serum on black people. That's all. I don't understand why people are like doing all this crazy shit. They might be being woke in the movies though, because Marvel is that way.
What do you think about like people changing like white characters to black? And I agree with this comment, Tom Pepin. He said
Uh
black
huh.
people
What do you
deserve
say?
their original heroes. My
Yes, they
personal
do.
opinion
Uh huh.
is it's that I think it's racist to turn white characters to black characters.
I
That's
agree.
my
I agree.
opinion.
I think it's a little fucking weird. Especially so the worst case of this, in my opinion, was ooh fucking what the fuck is it? Suicide Squad, the first Suicide Squad movie, right? Deadshot. You never had to make Deadshot black. He was always a white character or whatever he was. Um, he never looked like pale necessarily, but he looked like a white guy. He looked like Italian or something like that. Maybe Turkish, who knows? But a white guy. For some reason in Suicide Squad they made him black. Will Smith, they made him black. I don't know why they made him black, but they also gave him like this really weird story that didn't matter to the plot, where he was an estranged father from his daughter, and he's in prison and he likes to shoot people. Like that's his whole thing. You know what I mean? It's very stereotypical sounding when you look at the facts that way, but it wouldn't have been stereotypical sounding if you had just left him white like how he originally was. It's very weird when people do that. I think it's a little weird, and I think I don't know. There's an agenda to it, but I don't know. It might be people trying to be too woke or something, or
Chris, we just agreed. Chris says make
maybe it's
all white
people.
characters black. We just agreed. That is a bit racist.
Chris, what are you doing as a mod on here? Chris is a mod now. What did I
Yeah, Chris is
miss?
a mod.
Chris is a mod, bro. What the hell?
We have to mix it up. We can't have all Republican mods. We gotta make at least
That's
one
what's up, though. I am happy about that. That's good to see. That's good
one
to see Chris modding out
centralist
here.
kind of mod. But he doesn't do too much modding,
But
and at least he doesn't kick people out for saying like shit about Trump that's positive. It was an awful idea, but I
Blaze,
love the power.
Blaze, Blaze Pongolos. I don't know how to say your name. But you're gonna know who I'm responding to. Why is the color of an actor matter? It doesn't generally. It matters in certain scenarios. So I'll say something that Denzel Washington said. It's about culture sometimes. Like getting white people to play the Black Panthers would have been dumb. Getting white people to play black people would be a dumb thing to do. Culturally, black people, right? So that's the only time that it matters. So again, in the Black Panther movie, because we're talking about superheroes, if you picked a white guy to play T'Challa, that would have been a crazy thing to do. Nobody's going to sit here and believe that T'Challa is the leader of a secret African country called Wakanda, where he loves black people and wants black people to survive and prosper and be happy and healthy. Nobody's going to believe that. Nobody's going to believe that shit. Just like nobody's going to believe a black man being fucking Ragnarok's fucking son in the Viking show. Nobody's going to believe that. Bro, nobody's gonna believe that. They might believe that they came into contact with some black people and adopted one or some shit, but like it's like come on, it's it's a cultural thing. You have to have people who actually understand the culture in order to make accurate depictions of it. And again, I'll defer to something he said in that same interview. He said white people don't know what it smells like when you got a bunch of chemicals in your hair and it's burning from the flat iron. That's something that's like very distinct that black people or people in the hood know. You know what I mean? People who grew up that way.
Yeah.
It's a cultural thing. Just like I probably don't know what fucking fresh patchouli smells like before it gets processed into a scented oil or something. You know, it's cultural things like that. That's why it matters. You're talking about edge cases. Will Smith is a great actor. They hired him. He's great in a role. I disagree on how great an actor Will Smith is, but that's beside the point. Like I said, they didn't have to make him black. They Will Smith could have played any number of black superheroes that exist. Why did they have to take Deadshot, a white character, and make him black and give him a negatively stereotypically black backstory? That is a lot to do when you could have just kept him white and gotten a white actor to play a regular white superhero character or a
Blade
villain,
was
I guess.
originally white, but Snipes gets a
No,
pass.
he was not. When was Blade ever white? When was Blade ever white?
Honestly, I don't know this movie, so I'm not gonna speak on
No.
it.
First of all, you need to go watch Blade. It's got the best fucking techno song intro ever to any movie ever. But it's yeah, Blade was never white. Blade was always a black character, as far as I know.
In comic books, he said.
In the comic books, I don't remember that. Tom Pepin, you gotta I don't know, put a link in the Discord to that
Someone
or
says
something.
Blade was not white. Blade almost purple. You don't know Blade.
Blade
No,
is very
Blade was
black.
never white.
Blade was never white, bro. As far as I know, bro. I don't.
Everyone in the
You gotta send
comments
me
is
that,
saying he was never white.
bro. Tom is the only one saying he was white. As I don't know what kind of revisionist history this is, but I don't know. Are you talking about Morbius? Morbius, the living vampire, maybe? Guess guessed he should have stayed Hancock, right? I don't know what the fuck that means. Anyways,
J Money is on extra trolling shit. This is like a Mexican fella from California. He's on his
yeah, I
extra
don't.
trolling type shit. So if he says anything out of line, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's yeah, whatever. I barely read these comments anyways. I'm just looking because it's downtime. Morbius, the greatest film of all time. James Welsh, that's legendary.
The next thing that we're gonna be waiting for is some
Yeah,
black vampires. Blade's black in the comics I've seen.
yeah.
Bro,
I've
Blade
never
is
seen
black.
White Blade. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's confirmed. We can move on. Fuck Tom
You,
Pepin.
you never seen
Oh, I have seen
Hancock?
Hancock. Yeah, Hancock was good. I liked Hancock. I think that was it was probably a shitty movie in general, but Tom Pepin,
Don't.
bro. I think you spilled white paint on comic books, bro. Or comic book Blade got a nice tan. Oh, I'm looking at Google Images. Yo, that's funny. I wish you could drop an image of the first, yeah, of the first Blade. All right, the Wesley Snipes black jokes are wild, but they're true. He is pretty black. That's fine though.
Bro,
There's nothing wrong
Wesley
with being
Snipes is
blackety
a
black
goat,
black.
but I heard he's a dickhead in real life.
Blackety blackety black 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 guys. Nothing wrong with that, okay?
I
Blackety
was just
black
gonna
black.
say it would be fucked up if they made Twilight with like black and Mexican people. Not that I'm racist, guys. I'm just saying it wouldn't feel right. That's like the most
Right,
white shit
because
ever.
first of all, yes, and the native. I'm so sorry. The werewolves were based off Native Americans, not Mexicans. So yeah. You got to pick the right kind of people to play certain roles if you want to get the real feel of it. They defer to cultures. They defer. They have get what do they call them? Experts or I can't remember consultants.
I
Consultants.
mean,
They
Edward
consult
could
people
pull
about
off
certain
as Native
things.
American. Maybe I'm just maybe
You said
I'm
who?
just like because I'm saying he's tan as fuck. But like,
Jacob.
yeah, Jacob. Why the fuck did I just call him Edward? Yeah, Jacob.
Jacob, they were supposed to be a Native American tribe. I don't know, what's his name? Tyler something. I can't remember his name, but I don't know if he's actually Native American. But
Tom Pepin,
what?
David Duke gave you the revisionist comic books.
That's crazy. That's crazy. David Duke has those. David Duke has the revisionist Blade comic
I'm not
books.
in Spain, guys. I don't know why you're spreading this
Oh my God.
misinformation because I posted a video of like Barcelona
Taylor
like 2 years
Lautner.
ago.
Thank you, Craig. It's Taylor Lautner.
Tired of
Dustley
winning
is
it?
probably
No. I'm not tired of
Dustley is
winning
probably
with
shitting his
Donald J.
pants with how
Trump.
much we're agreeing right now.
Okay, let's talk about this. A little bit something
Yeah.
political. What do you think about the Democrats? I know it's rare, but what do you think about the Democrats cutting off 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16-year-old kids' penises for their gender? That's some
Um,
white shit, am I
oh
right?
Jesus. Um. Okay,
Did
so
you
from my research on all this stuff, that's not really happening the way that people think it is.
What do you mean by that?
And
It definitely happens. I got Chris, the lawyer, the attorney. At first, he was saying
yeah,
that people don't
no,
get
it's
bottom surgeries that are kids. They do get bottom
no,
surgeries.
it's very very rare. I think there's only been a few instances of it. I don't know the circumstances of those instances. I
It's been a
personally
few
do. Oh,
thousand
woo,
for
I
sure.
that's a lot. I don't think that should be happening. First of all, let me just say this: I do not think that children should be getting any sort of reproductive surgery at all.
What about
Um,
hormones?
According to the science, I don't think puberty blockers are a problem. According to the science,
I don't
according to the
believe the
science,
science. I think it is a problem. Those are your development ages.
that's fair. That's fair if you don't believe the science. I'm
And I
skeptical on it
haven't
too,
read any
but
science on it, but I've heard
mhm.
left leaning people say, "Oh, the science says that it doesn't hurt their development." It seems like it would
um,
hurt just by using common sense. It seems like it would hurt their development to me.
right. Me and you, we both just don't know how much hormones affect like brain development and that stuff. We don't know that, so that's the only thing that we can't really talk on when it comes to that. But I feel the same. I feel similar to you about that. I would assume during your developmental years, your hormones not being inhibited would be very important for development. However, mental capacity, mental development, I don't know if it affects that, right? So physical development, yes, but the science does also say that once you take them off the blockers, they develop normally, as if
I
nothing
don't believe
were
that.
an issue ever. Again, that's what the science says. That's what the science says. If the science is
Science that we
true,
can't quote properly.
right? Because we don't know. We're not. We aren't. We both just said we're not educated enough on it. That's the only problem. If we were, we
Okay.
could talk more shit on it.
Let me read this Chris chat. Burnell, I love
But I
you, but only
mostly, yeah.
second to your great Governor Gavin Newsom. Testosterone Plutum Newsom. Fuck no. Why the fuck do people like Gavin Newsom?
Gatling Gavin, let's go.
Bro, you don't tell me you support Gavin Newsom.
No, I
How are the
don't. I don't know
handsome,
enough
young,
about.
intelligent young men in this live doing tonight? We are doing
I,
excellent. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Thank you very much. I don't. Oh, Ice. I'm not talking to you, Ice. I'm talking to everybody but you, Ice. But
Ice is a legend. You just said you like a strong border. You don't like open
that's
border.
no. Hold on. What the heck is he saying about Blackula? Oh, count back. Shut up, man. Blackula was always black. Okay,
Is
but
Blackula a real fucking vampire? Don't fucking tell me they did this
yes,
already.
Blackula was an '80s black exploitation film. You remember
1972. Yeah. Okay.
'70s? Sorry, but it was a black exploitation film. Those are always great. Those are fucking great. But
All right.
yeah,
I'll
it's
give you credit. It looks pretty fucking funny.
yeah. That's like I'm gonna get you, sucker. I don't know if you've ever seen that, but there's like a lot of movies
Nah,
black
I'm
people
definitely
made.
gonna watch this for sure.
Yeah, watch There's a lot of movies that
Oh
black people
yeah.
made
That shit
back
looks
in
fucking hilarious.
yeah, back in that era, once black people were finally able to really get their hands in entertainment and stuff, they made a bunch of like funny black comedies and like just straight black movies. Have you ever seen
Watch
Black
Sinners
Dynamite?
movie. Hmm.
Sinners is great. You ever seen Black Dynamite, Graham?
Yeah, no, I've seen it before. It's
The
hilarious.
movie or the show?
I don't think I've seen clips of the movie, but are you talking about the Black Dynamite on Cartoon Network? That shit was hilarious.
Yes. So the show is based off of the movie. You
Yeah.
should go watch it. You should go watch it at some point. It's pretty fucking funny. It's legendary. It's yeah, it's exactly what it's supposed to be. Just racist, funny black comedy. They're just being it's complete stereotypical bullshit, like all of it. But it's funny. It's good.
Yeah, Black Dynamite
Um,
is hilarious. Do you
yeah,
still create babies with turkey basters for two fathers? That is some liberal fucking white people shit.
I don't know what the hell was just said there, but back to the point. Thank you for giving me back to the point. Yeah, no, I don't really agree with surgeries like that for children. Again, if the science is correct, you doubt the science. I do too. But if it is correct, I don't think there's any problem with it. I think people are. I think people should be going through gender affirming care or some sort of therapy before any decision like that is made, even on hormone blockers.
I think they should be 18
Um,
before they start taking hormones.
I think 18 is the only reason I disagree with that is because 18 is far too developed into whatever sex you don't want to be. If you are sure that you don't want to be that sex,
Well,
I think it's
hormones don't
I think
stop you
yeah.
developing to another sex. You still have a dick or
No.
whatever your
What
genital
I
organ.
mean what I mean is that this will create gender dysphoria, right? So if you let's just say you're a woman and your boobs get really big really early, right? Because that happens to some girls. If you take puberty blockers, it'll disincentivize that growth, right? So you won't have as much of a problem to deal with. Maybe you won't have to get top surgery later on in life. You might not need it. You know what I mean? If you take the puberty blockers beforehand. That's the only reason I say that. But by the time you're 18, you're
I
pretty
haven't
much
seen
fully
enough
developed.
evidence on that either. I think he still developed
Yeah.
breasts, but I'm not 100% sure.
Um,
I'm not
I think it
scientifically
slows that.
educated.
I think it
Ask
slows it
guest.
down.
Chris Proud says, please ask guest if he's appeared on Blacked. Is that your favorite site?
If I've appeared on Blacked, not yet. I would love to be an honored guest on Blacked. I've not. They haven't called me yet. They haven't called me yet. So maybe your mom's been on there though. Maybe Jabs. Oh, okay.
Doctor's medical advice. That's all I'll say. Good joke, I guess. I didn't think it was that funny, but Chris thought it was pretty funny, I guess.
I don't even know what joke was made. Um. Yeah. What do you guys want us to talk about, guys?
We can't hear you, Graham. What do you mean you can't hear me? He can hear me perfectly fine, right?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah, I just broke up a little bit going downstairs, but I'm fine.
What do you guys want us to talk about? Let me see
Yeah.
if.
What do you guys
So, do you
want to?
believe in closed borders? You wouldn't let the. You wouldn't like. Do you think Biden did a good job on the border? Would you like put? How do you think a good border would run? If you think Trump doesn't run a good, secure, safe border, how do you think a good border would run?
Okay, so I think the best way to handle the border is to. Okay, so first of all, what's the problem with the border, right? The problem is we have too many people coming over illegally. That is the problem with the border. That's the biggest issue that people have. That and the fact that it's so easy, or that it's possible to get so many drugs and smuggling all that shit, the crime, right? So how do you fix that? You create an actual secure, strong border. I do think that budget bill, the bipartisan budget bill, I know you're probably going to have some grief about this one, but I do think that the bipartisan budget bill, the second revised one, without the extra shit in it, I do think that that was a good bill that should have passed and that that would have helped. What that would have done is increase the technology that border patrol agents have to work with. It would have also increased the amount of border patrol agents that like are available to work. I don't remember what else it would have done, but those two things by themselves, increasing the amount of funding for immigration judges so that we can process things more quickly, and also improving the immigration process, making it quicker so that people don't have to wait 20 fucking years potentially to get into this country. Those things are causing people to want to come here illegally. Everybody
Like,
likes to say, everybody MAGA likes to say we have the best country on the fucking planet. Why would people not want to come here desperately? If all these other countries are so shitty and we have the best one, of course everybody's going to want to come here. So why don't we make it easy for people, at least people who have not committed crimes, people who are not criminals. Why don't we make it easy for those people to come here? We make it very easy for people with $5 million who want to start a business here, right? Who want to engage in capitalism. But we're not making it easy for regular people. I think
well,
that's
from
what
what
the
I
problem
hear,
is.
that it is possible to enter the country legally in various methods. Like an example is, there's work visas. Yes, it does take, when you refer to like 10, 20 years, you're talking about getting like a citizenship. It would take me 10 or 20 years to get a citizenship in Europe or any other country. Like America isn't special to that. And yeah, it's expensive to immigrant to anywhere. And yes, I see what you're saying about the $5 million, but there are cheaper investment alternatives, by the way. And also, yeah, like
Yeah.
there's a couple of visas that you can get, like the H-2B visa. A lot of people don't really like that. There's other visas. There's work visas that you can get in 35, 45 days. Enter the country
Yep.
legally. You can stay there for
Yeah.
like a year or two. You can renew it every year. All you need is like an employer to sponsor you
Yeah.
and
No,
shit
there
like
there
that.
are there are certain
But yeah,
ways, but that's
I'm
like
with you though. I
those.
do
Yeah.
believe we should put more and more ways for people to come into the country. Let me read
Yeah.
this dumbass super chat out loud. J Money is really trying his best to absolutely just trigger me today. Okay, serious question. When are they going to deport all of the inbreds that aren't Americans? Okay, actually, that wasn't as triggering as I thought it was going to be.
Oh, what the fuck?
I don't think that they're going to deport everybody. That's the first thing I will say. I know they're not going to deport all the 20 or 30 million people. They could deport like 10 million maybe in 4 years, but I don't think that's
It's
going to happen. Obama
their
has the
goal
record
on.
right now, 3 million. But the main reason we have to deport people is not to like get rid of all the illegal immigrants. Yeah, that's a great reason. I like how Trump is focusing mostly on the criminals. But another main reason we have to
He's
deport
not.
illegal immigrants is to get like if we don't deport them, that's encouraging like illegals to pour into the country more and more. If we deport them, that kind of
Okay.
discourages them from coming into the country.
Okay, Graham. What about people who have been here for like 10, 15, 20 years, even 5 years, who've been contributing to the economy, not committing
Okay,
crimes?
that's
They've
all
started
nice and
businesses.
dandy, but it really makes no difference to me. If you're ignoring the law and saying, "Oh, I'm not even going to try to see like a like an attorney to fix my legal status," then
But
I really
there
like
are
you're just
people
ignoring the
who.
law. You're just ignorant of the law. Like I know people that have
But
been in the country.
there are people who are getting arrested at their immigration hearings trying to
Yeah,
follow the
well,
law.
that is part of the consequences. You should have taken care of the problem before Trump got elected. You knew Trump was coming. You knew it was a
No,
possibility Trump could come.
some of these people didn't cross illegally. Some of these people
I
crossed
know that. They're
the.
expired visas. Now, let's hear me out for a second.
They're not
I
all
know.
expired visas though. I'm saying
What are
ICE
you
is being
talking about?
reckless.
Overstayed? What are you talking
No, no,
about?
no. These aren't all these. Um, these are some of these people who have been arrested by ICE are legal immigrants who are going through the regular processes to um to um to become legal citizens. In one case, this was a white person. I can't remember where he I think he's South African or something, but he got deported because of a 10-year-old mistake on his documents that's been resolved. But it's a 10-year-old mistake that ICE pulled up to deport this man, even though he's a legal immigrant. And it's been solved for a long
I
time. I
never
can't
heard of
remember.
this case. I don't know this case specifically, so it's hard for me to bring it up. But what I
Yeah,
will
fair
say
enough.
is,
But he's not the only one. The point that I'm making is that ICE is deporting people, not just deporting people, but ICE is detaining and deporting people without full on like investigation, without full enough reason. You know what I mean? Like it's fair enough. Like some of these, if like people are committing crimes and fucking up our economy or doing whatever, yeah, sure, okay, get them out. But I think they're going too far and not being
it's
careful
not
enough.
really about if you pay your taxes or like Chris has said a million times before, the person making $50,000 a year, yeah, they pay taxes, but not to get on this whole rambit, but the majority of people that pay taxes in the country are the top 10%. But that's a whole nother debate.
That's just
the
because they
the
have the
main
most
thing is
money,
I'm
dude.
saying is it doesn't matter if you contribute or pay your taxes or work some 9 to 5 job. Okay, that's nice. We have
Uh huh.
plenty of Americans that need jobs and that would work 9 to 5s that aren't illegals and that aren't ignoring the law. Yeah, if someone has a mistake on their visa, that sounds pretty bad if they get deported. Yeah, I get that. ICE makes mistakes and the police make mistakes. Police and ICE are similar because they both make mistakes, but that doesn't mean I'm going to say, well, fuck all the cops. We should have a copless society just because some cop was a dickhead to me or that he wrongfully arrested someone. I'm not just going to say, well, fuck all the police then. We don't need them ever again. I mean, yeah, I don't
If
really like
if
what
cops
they're
were out here
doing
acting like ICE,
sometimes.
if cops
Huh?
were out here acting like ICE, which a lot of cops are out here acting like ICE, but if
I
they're
would
out here acting
argue
like
that
ICE, then
cops
yeah,
act worse than
yeah, fuck them.
ICE. I would argue that cops are worse than
You
ICE.
Some cops, yeah, a lot of cops
Because
are
when
definitely
have you
worse than
ever
ICE.
heard of
Yeah,
an ICE agent accidentally killing someone? Or when have you heard of an ICE agent
you
throwing
haven't
someone in
yet,
prison?
but let
The
me.
worst thing that
What?
happens to you with ICE is that you go into detention for a couple months or you get deported. The worst thing that happens to you with the
Those are
police
bad. And the
is they
hold on a
put you in
second though.
prison for life or shoot you in the back of the head.
Okay, so two things on that. The police don't actually put you in prison. They do the same thing that ICE does. They detain you and let the
Yeah,
government
but they
sort you
don't
out,
they don't
right?
detain you for like 5 years.
No, but they do detain people for months at a time, illegally,
But
mind you.
that's
They
not
detain
always
these
no,
people.
that's not the
They
case. Here's
they
a great
detain these people
example.
without due process. They detain these people without due
No, but
process,
that's not
and
always the case. Here's a great example. In
uh
my
huh.
state of Florida, if you get sent to Alligator Alcatraz, you have two options. You can either get sent to the ICE detention center or you can self-deport. It's really up to you. Do you want to wait for your court hearings or your due process, or do you want to go back to your country? That's a fair option. But here's another super chat question. Hello, okay, seriously. When are they going to deport all the white people coming from Texas? Deport all the white people coming from Texas?
That's a dumb
I mean, I don't
question.
care
Sounds
if
like a
they're
joke.
white, black, South African, brown. I don't care. If they come illegally, deport them.
um, yeah, I don't know. I think there should be
After
some.
handsome Detroit man, can I refute MAGA Kami? Which MAGA Kami? Me?
After handsome Detroit man, why? Thank you. Um,
The worst thing that can happen to you is ice scraping your kids? Well, there's no cases of that happening. But yeah,
I don't know if
anything
I've
can
heard of that
happen. That's fair
happening,
enough.
but it's yeah. So Ice, I'm a joke is crazy. Booty Ranger Joe. I don't know why I'm a joke, but
I love how the police do way more heinous crimes, but I mean, y'all completely you used to be like defund the police, and now you guys are just focusing entirely on ICE. You want me to look that up, J Money? I have never heard of that case happening. But like I
I
said,
don't.
ICE and police are both humans. Every human makes a
Um,
mistake, rather it's a politician, rather it's a police officer, an ICE officer. You
with
know,
ICE, it's not mistakes; it's orders. They have orders to behave the way that they're acting.
yeah.
Also,
Well,
there
they
was
don't have
there
orders
also
to
there's a
grape or
case
hurt people.
there is a case of ICE shooting at civilians. They let off like 3 rounds into a car.
Well, yeah, that was because they were being attacked and they were being chased and hunted down. There's also cases of
It's not
ICE
the story
agents
I
getting
heard.
shot in the back of the neck. They weren't trying to harm anyone. They were just looking for illegal immigrants, and they got shot in the back of the neck. They were trying to get shot in the back of the head. J Money, I just looked up ICE. Um, I'm gonna look it up again. Hold on. Let me
Bro,
rephrase
that's
it just
crazy,
because.
Cedar. My Discord group, my PlayStation friends call me Snoop Dogg all the time, bro. That's funny. That's funny as fuck. Fuck you, dude. That's funny.
Yeah, I don't see one. I
Ah,
don't see one
that's funny.
instance of ICE. Of ICE raping kids like J Money claimed. I don't see that anywhere on Google. But if you want to
I don't
link
know
me the
if there's
article,
I don't know if there's any instances of that, but to say that ICE isn't being overly aggressive is ridiculous. That's why people started being aggressive
what's
toward
overly
ICE.
aggressive? Putting criminals in
What do you mean?
prison?
No, the way that they have been arresting and detaining people, they don't need to be as aggressive. They don't need to use the methods that they're using to arrest
These people
people.
will run away, they will hide, and they will quite literally shoot at you. So what method would you recommend people that are literally dodging
That's not
bullets,
what
getting
people were
shot in the
doing
neck?
to ICE. That's not what people were doing to ICE at first. When ICE first of all, ICE has been around for years. ICE has been around for a long time. This is not the
You're
Trump
right.
didn't create
They're not
ICE.
shooting at ICE
So
because of what they're doing. They're shooting at ICE because of Donald Trump, and it's not because Donald Trump is doing any
no, nobody else
unorthodox
has
methods.
mobilized.
It's
Stop
because
it.
they don't
Nobody
like Trump.
stop playing, bro. Nobody else has mobilized ICE the way that Trump has. Nobody else has
Obama
mobilized ICE.
mobilized ICE more. How was he
No,
able to
he
deport 3 million people?
he didn't send ICE out into neighborhoods into the streets like this. He didn't do this. He
He did
didn't
have
send ICE to
ICE
Home
putting kids
Depot.
in
He
cages.
he didn't send ICE to Home Depot. And while I'm not defending
I'm
Obama
not
here either,
against that either. I don't really care. If you're at Home Depot, if you break the law, you break the law. If you're a criminal, you enter the country. Listen,
okay, what
I'm a
about Trump?
reasonable
What about Trump
guy.
being found guilty of crimes? He's a criminal, right? If we're gonna hold people to this standard of you can't commit crimes, Trump has been
Okay,
found
Trump
guilty
got
of crimes.
sentenced. They
So
didn't do
and
anything to
so
him.
so why is it okay for him to be president if these people need to get deported
Because
because
he
they
got
committed
elected
crimes?
fairly.
Why is it okay? Because he got
Also, there's
elected.
a big
Okay.
difference between financial crimes and illegal immigration. I would argue that illegal immigration is, something that can hurt people much
You
worse than no
then
victimless financial
financial
crimes.
crimes?
Huh?
Are you kidding me? Illegal immigration is worse than financial crime. Are you kidding me?
Yes,
Financial crime can
yes.
bankrupt
Illegal
people.
immigration is
Financial
worse.
crime can take your home. Financial crime can take your business.
These are
Financial crime can take your
what
identity. What are you
financial
talking
crime will
about?
take your home from you. Like
Do you know
if
what do
someone
you think
sells your
financial
house
crime
without your
is?
permission, yeah, that's not a victimless. I said victimless financial crimes. Victimless, not like some guy
Victimless
selling your house without your permission. Yeah, that's fucked up. That's a victim crime. You're hurting people.
okay,
But when you're doing crimes against
Trump
banks,
falsified business records to hide the fact that he paid Stormy Daniels so that it wouldn't impact his chances of winning the presidency. I think that's a pretty fucked up thing to do. As like fuck
well,
the
I don't
hush
know if
money
that is
payment,
the
whatever.
actual charge or not.
No, that's the
But
charge. That's why he was convicted is because
either way, it
um
doesn't matter
yeah.
because people have accused him of worse things. He and
Okay, he's been
socialism is
accused
a
and found
financial
guilty of work.
crime.
You
So
okay? So
allegedly,
what about lying
socialism is
30?
a financial crime,
What?
in
No,
my
it's not. First of
opinion.
all, fuck you. Second of all, Trump. Why
It is
Trump?
because you're taxing people to death. That
Socialism
is a
is.
financial crime. To
What do you mean
me,
socialism? Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry. Yeah, let me take
okay,
it
no.
serious. What do
I'll
you mean?
give you an example. I agree with
I
this
thought you were
comment. I
joking.
know it's not legally. I know it's not
Mhm.
under our law. But to me, to tax people that are middle class and to give to people that didn't work for it, yes,
It's not. That's not.
I think that is a crime to me. You're stealing
That's
from
not how
people that work for
socialism.
their money and giving it to people that don't work for it. Am
That's not
I
how
against
socialism works.
billionaires not helping people? Yeah, I am against it. Do I think billionaires should be taxed more? No, but I think the billionaires should be forced to help more people because if you just give your money to the government just burns your money like a pile of fucking wood. Like if you really want to see a difference, don't say that you want to tax the rich. Make like some kind of thing where you got to help the poor more. Like you got to give the money, you got to help the homeless. Give it directly to the people that
Visit.
need it. Don't give it to
Well,
the fucking government.
I agree with most of what you're saying. I'm a rebuttal in a second, but William Stryker said, "Visit a country devastated by socialism and communism, then come and talk to me."
I
Um,
have visited countries devastated by socialism and communism, and
I
they'll,
think
like
he's. I,
Yugoslavia, they'll never go back to that shit. I mean, a lot of people miss the
um,
days of Yugoslavia and stuff like that, but they definitely don't want to go back to communism. They're enjoying. I mean, they have some kind of they're enjoying their current level of situation.
Um. So okay, what was the original point? What were you? What were you?
I'm
Somebody.
saying if you're taking from the middle class, the people that are
Oh,
barely
right,
getting
right.
by, you're taxing them to death, and you're giving it people that can barely pay their rent and pay their groceries, and you're taxing them and giving it to the poor that don't work for it. That
Yeah.
is
Problem
fucking
is,
theft.
I think what you're thinking of is communism, and I think what you're thinking of is
No,
communism, and that's not.
socialism like Section 8 and different shit like that. Listen, I'm not against Section 8. Some people need it.
Oh,
But I'm
even
just
social
saying,
programs.
some social programs are being directly funded by taxpayers that can barely get by, people that can barely put food in their fridge and barely pay the rent over their head. But the government thinks that we need to tax them to death so we can help these people that refuse to work. I'm not saying they all can work. I'm just saying there is a group of them that can work and they choose not to, and they love taking up social benefits. Anyone else saying fake felonies, please debate me in the Discord over here. Please, please, let's actually get thoughts out there. Yeah, join the Discord, guys. If you want
Um,
to be on the stream at some point, you can join the Discord. Me, Chris, a lot of people in the chat. Me
I'm
and
in the
Omar,
Discord
we're
too,
all
just
in
so
the
y'all know.
Discord. Yeah. Discord is
Um,
the link in my bio.
so okay, okay, so social. I don't think there's a problem with social programs. Well, okay, I think there's a
I don't have
problem
a
with how the
problem with them
government.
either, but
I
people
think
take
there's a
advantage of
problem with
them.
how. I think there's a problem with how the government spends money. I think the people taking advantage of the social programs, most people who take advantage of social programs aren't like aren't bankrupting the government. They aren't like getting over on anybody really. If anybody's getting anything from the government, or I'm so sorry, most people who are like you said, I guess, getting free money from the government. It's like a couple $100s a month, if that. Like people aren't really getting anything. You know what I mean? The government isn't giving out enough money for people to
No,
be
I
getting
get what you're
rich,
saying.
or so it doesn't to me it doesn't make sense to really even give too many fucks about that. Yes, obviously, if people are committing fraud, that's a bad thing. That money should be going to people who deserve it, as opposed to people who are fine and don't need it. But socialism, I think, is a good thing. And honestly, what the fuck else is all this money for in America? Like that's what it's for. That's why America is
We should
trying to
have
be the
less
richest.
tax dollars. That's what I think. We don't need all this money. We need to cut all that bullshit down. I get that
M-
some people need these
Maybe,
programs,
yeah.
but you should
Yeah.
not be
It's
getting these
well,
benefits unless you're busting your ass off. The main problem in
I.
America is this. Here's the
hmm,
main problem in America. This is a problem that Trump probably will not address. I don't think any president will address this. The problem is if you're working a job, working your ass off, just because you make a certain amount of money, even if you can barely pay your rent and barely pay your groceries and barely pay for all your necessities, just your necessities. The government will say, "Wow, well you don't get shit. We ain't giving you Section 8. We ain't giving you food stamps because look at all the money you make." But all you're doing is paying your rent. You're paying your groceries. Maybe you live in an expensive
right.
area, maybe, and it just costs a lot of money. But the government will say, "Well, look at the money you're making. You're making enough money. Fuck off." But the people that refuse to work, or the people that say, "Yeah, I'm a healthy 25, 30-year-old male. I don't want to get a job. I rather live in Section 8 and I rather,
Well,
take all this food stamps and stuff like that." Then they don't they get everything. But the people that are actively trying to better their lives, the people that are barely getting enough
oh,
to get
okay.
by, the
I see
government
what you're
won't
saying.
even give them like the government won't even say, "Okay, you're trying your very best. Here you go. We'll help you out a little bit." The people that put
I,
no effort are getting rewarded. The people that try to put effort,
that it's not. First of all, okay. So I do have a rebuttal to that. It's not true that these people are putting in no effort. That's not true. These people
I'm
work
not
hard
saying
too.
all of them. Some people are disabled. Some people are, have a bunch of kids. Some people need help and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I get that. I'm
Um.
not saying even if you are like, tell me a country that socialism has worked in. That's a great point.
Well, America kills all of the leaders in those countries every time they become socialist. So
I will, Burnell. I'm not a socialist fan, but I can give you examples of current countries that are like borderline socialist. I
and
will
doing
say
pretty okay.
Spain. Spain is kind of falling. I don't think it worked, but it's like an operating country. Spain
There's
is falling to shit. It is a
th-
socialist country. We got Norway, we got Sweden. They are. running countries, but they are shit places to open a business. Poland is also socialist.
Maybe,
They're not too
but
bad.
they're shit places to open a business because they're not
They have
capitalist. You
high
can't judge them on that.
taxes.
You can't, right? You can't judge them on that though. You know what I'm saying? There's if there's socialist countries, then you have to judge them as a socialist country. Is it working as a socialist country? If they have bad business, if they have stuff that's like bad for starting a business, that's fair. But again, that's a capitalist requirement. So you can't really judge them on that requirement.
Is Sweden socialist?
Venezuela,
Hold on, let me look that up. Maybe Sweden isn't socialist.
he said Venezuela. Yeah, Venezuela was the country I was thinking of. They
I
have
think
higher
Venezuela is
literacy
full
rates
on
than us.
communist.
Maybe. I don't know.
And Venezuela is failing, by the way. The money has
Um,
gone to shit. They're literally burning the money because it's so worthless, and they need something to heat their homes. At least this
I,
was
I
like a year
also
ago.
I also don't believe that did I turn my I did.
Okay,
I
my
don't
apologies. Sweden is not socialist.
I don't know what their economic or political structure is, but I don't think socialism itself is necessarily bad. Socialism
Spain is
or
not socialist. Technically, it's a mixed capitalist economy with social democratic government. With the official party is the Spanish Socialist Workers Party. So I guess all
okay,
those examples I gave are wrong. I'm sorry, Bernal. I wasn't trying
yeah,
to
kind
defend
of.
socialism, but
But there's not a lot of
Spain
countries that
and
are
Sweden
there's
are not socialist.
I don't think there are any countries right now that are actually socialist, actually full on socialist. I think Venezuela or Cuba, I can't remember which country it is the closest where they have like a hybrid democratic
Yes,
socialist
Poland is also not socialist.
structure.
So there are no functioning
So,
countries that are currently socialist that are functioning well, that are fully socialist.
but the problem is that like a lot of every time a country tries to go socialist, some country interferes with that. A lot of the times it's America that interferes. And my opinion on socialism,
They're all mixed
at least so,
economies. That's a correct
as,
comment. Sorry to interrupt you.
that's fine. As far as social programs in America, again, I do believe that that's what America was like made for. America was made to like create a country that was better than where they came from. We want to make as much money as possible to give people the best life possible. That's like the dream of capitalism. It's like the dream, right? So I just don't understand this idea of having like this disdain for social programs or using social programs to better people's lives. Again, Graham, I hear what you're saying. That's fair. That's what you're saying. And
I
yeah,
do
so
have
you
to
don't say you
clarify a
don't.
bit, but
Mhm.
keep talking. Keep
Um,
going.
Socialism itself, I don't think is necessarily a bad thing when done correctly according to the definition of it. And the same goes for what's it called? Communism. Um, I think they're just different ways to operate a country without worrying about necessarily revenue. Instead, you're worrying about what people need to survive, what people need to survive and thrive and feel happy and be good. So, right, that's the idea of it. Obviously, in practice, it's been like co-opted by fucked up people, and in practice, it hasn't been done well. Like even if you go back to like ignoring the obvious example, which is Nazis, ignoring that. I don't know if I can say that on live, but ignoring those guys, going back to Mao and Stalin, they made terrible mistakes when they tried to implement communism and socialism. They didn't. They went very authoritarian the way that they decided. Well, I'm not going to say Mao did, but Stalin in particular went extremely authoritarian and forced people to do things, force people into work camps and shit like that, as opposed to creating an economy or transitioning an economy you know, into that sort of thing, which I think is what should be done. But yeah, go ahead. My bad.
Well, first thing I want to touch on all these people saying all these countries that are socialist or communist, whatever you want to call them.
Hmm.
Well, Cuba is failed. Venezuela is failed. They're both shitholes. Sorry, I love the people of Cuba and Venezuela, but both shitholes. And I would visit Cuba, by the way. But the next comment I want to say is that yeah, I do think that some people need a helping hand. Like I do believe in unemployment. Like if you just get fired out of nowhere, it's fucked up. You should get unemployment. If you
Yeah.
get kicked off your fucking feet, you need some government help just for like a couple weeks or like a month or a couple months until you get back
Hmm.
on your feet, yeah, I'm all cool with that. I completely get that. But if you're like trying to like live off the government for years, straight up years, no job, not even trying to apply for jobs, just saying, "Oh, it's Trump's fault, man. I can't get off my ass. I got
Dude,
to keep living in this Section 8." And
yeah.
I'm not even going to say this is the majority of people using these
Most
government
people.
social
Um,
programs. It's not. It's
let
not the
me
majority
let
of
me
them.
let me say this real quick on that note. Just one quick rebuttal, not rebuttal, but on that note of people staying on it for a long time. Most people who get on these programs do not stay on it. Most people get off of it. It serves its purpose. The welfare helps people get to a better point so that they can get stable and then they get off of it. Most people. Some people do stay on it for a long time, but continue my bad.
I don't agree with you 100% there. I think, I hate to say it. I'm not saying everyone's abusing it. I'm not even saying the majority of people are abusing it, but pretty much every
Hmm.
single person I've seen on any of these programs, I mean, they're not necessarily on it for like, ever, but they're trying to juice it as much as they can. I mean, they're definitely trying to juice it as much as they can. I mean, you know, it's just
What do you mean
unfortunate
when
to
you say
see. Like,
use it
I
as
would be
much as they
more
can?
okay with it, like what you said before. Yeah, these people aren't. Hey, what's this guy's name?
Make
Cream.
cream
Can you
make up with me,
please make
please.
up with Chris? Please make up with Chris. He ain't too bad.
Oh
I
my
defend
God.
what is correct. Facts. Yeah, I agree with you there. But yeah,
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm not against social programs. I just wish there was like someone checking up to see if they're being abused or not. And you can
Yeah,
say,
no,
oh,
I
if there's
agree.
someone checking up
Everybody
on it,
agrees with that.
then they're gonna, And I know what you said. Oh, these hundreds of dollars a month these people aren't. Isn't not It's not draining the government. I mean, I'm pretty sure
No,
it
but
costs like billions a
when you
year.
have people abusing PPP loans, when you have people abusing
Yeah,
PPP
those
loans,
people went to
and yeah,
prison.
yeah, not all of them, not all of them. There are people who are
Yeah,
out
there's
here who
still
never got
people
caught
being
doing that kind of
charged.
shit.
It's 5 years
But
later. There's still people being investigated and charged.
it's there is real fraud, but I think those are the people who you should be going after instead of kicking people off of fucking food stamps. Like, who cares if somebody gets some extra food, bro? Who the fuck cares?
I'm not really that against food stamps or anything like that. Like food stamps is probably the most like liberal thing in the government. Like I think everyone deserves food and shit like
I
that.
feel
But
like it's
like
the most reasonable thing that I don't understand anybody who disagrees with anybody getting free. Everybody should have access to some food stamps. Fuck. Well,
if
not
everyone
people who
got
can
it,
afford it,
shit.
obviously,
If everyone
but
got it, I'd be okay
is
with that. That makes more sense to me. Shit, if I can get it,
I
and
I do think everyone should, but where our economy isn't set up that way. If we can set it up that way, if we can fund that, then yeah. If we could fund that reasonably, then yeah, sure. But
that's
yeah,
kind of why I don't. That's kind of
it's
why I'm against it
nobody
because it's like
nobody.
people are getting, like I
What
said
I meant
before.
when I said that, what I was trying to say when I said that, even though I don't necessarily disagree, what I meant was that nobody should need food and not have it. I think it's ridiculous for anybody to need food and not have it in America,
Yeah, I
richest
agree with you
country in the world.
100%.
Yeah. So
If everyone got it, I'd be with you. But my problem is when you're making 50 or 60, maybe $70,000 a year, the government looks at you and says, "Wow, that's a lot of money." But you don't get SNAP, you don't get nothing. But you could be looking at like a fucking $2 bank balance at the end of the month after paying all your bills, or you could have $0 in your account, and you're paying so much in bills. You just have a roof over your head. You just have an apartment. You just living in a place. Put groceries in your fucking fridge. You got no money at the end of the month, and you don't get shit. They ain't giving you Section 8. They ain't giving you food
no, no,
stamps.
listen,
That's where I think it's so fucking
I
unfair that
I
those
do
people
agree
gotta
that's
pay
a
that shit with
flaw.
their tax dollars, and they're being
I
taxed to death to fund the people that do get it. It's fucked.
listen. You don't even have to make that much money to be victim to that either. You don't even have to be making 70,000. People, I'm very poor. People I know are experiencing that as well. They don't make that much money at all. They're just they're just above the poverty line, I guess, technically on paper. But they have the same circumstances that you were talking about. So it's
Yeah,
I agree
they probably might feel the
that's
same way about
that's a severe flaw in the system, dude. Like that's a severe flaw in the system. I completely agree. I don't think that that's I don't think that that's fair. I think it should be. I don't know. Maybe they need to change the circumstances on like how that's determined. Like uh, maybe they need to just take more of a look at people's finances. But that might be a invasion of
now
privacy
if it
to an
was
extent. I
based
don't
on
know.
your finances, yeah, I think that's more fair. Like
I think
some
it's more
people,
fair, yeah, but that also depends on you being willing. Well, you have to report your finances to the IRS anyway. So, yeah, I think people should probably have to sit down with a caseworker or something, or at least in some way, like, yeah. But that's fair. Yeah, that's a fair point.
if
I
you're
I think
making
yeah.
$90,000 a year in California, like you're in Los Angeles making 90,000 a year, you could be struggling. Like a one bedroom out there probably costs like 3 grand a month.
Well, they do. It is different by state, though. It is different by state. It's not going to be the same requirements in California as it's
Still,
going to
the
be here in
requirements
Michigan.
probably are. It's probably still getting fucked over. If you make 90 grand a year, even if you make 70 grand a year, if you make 70 grand a year in Cali, that's probably like making 20 grand in like somewhere else. And they're just looking
Yeah,
at you like, fuck off, you ain't getting shit.
you're probably not wrong, but yeah, I don't disagree with that. I think that needs to be fixed. Again, I don't think the government operates necessarily correctly. I don't think any of us do here, to be honest. I think that's why most of us sitting here debating is because we don't believe that
I
the
didn't
fucking
say
government
all of
works
Cali. I
correctly.
said Los Angeles.
Fake ass live stream. What do you think is fake about this, Swift? I'm gonna wait on that. Yeah, don't talk to you little lady seven, whatever their name is,
Like I
with
said, I didn't
Swift.
say all of California. I said specifically Los Angeles.
Swift, what do you think? What do you think is fake here? I don't know. Graham might be fake. I'm not faking anything.
This entire
That's all.
stream is
That's it.
AI.
That's crazy. That'd be crazy. But yeah. So somebody else got another topic for us. I don't know. I don't know what to
Cali
talk
has the
about.
highest taxes in the world. Yeah, like I said, why I think socialism is
Cause of
theft
what
because
sound, Swift?
it's
Go
not
ahead. Yeah, my bad.
California anymore, like Cali, Cuba. Bernal, are you ever gonna leave California? Or are you gonna stay there still, brother?
Oh, Swift wants us to talk about January 6th. How do you feel about that, bud?
Oh my God,
What are your thoughts
this.
on?
I'd rather talk about Epstein, but I'll just briefly touch
We
on
can talk
this.
about Epstein too. Which one do you want to do?
Oh my God, honestly, I changed my mind again. Let's go back to January 6th. If
Okay.
you want to talk about January 6th, I'm not gonna sit. My talking points are I'm not gonna sit here and defend Trump because I don't know what was going through his mind, but I will
Hmm.
defend the people that did go to January 6th and the people that were charged, and I will defend their
Fed
pardons
surrection.
because like
Yeah, you're right.
like
Hold on. Ozzy Crosby said January 6th was a Fed surrection, and you're right. The only Fed that was verified to be in the crowd is the one that's in Trump's cabinet right now. So do with that what you will, Ozzy. We'll go ahead.
I don't think that's true. That one guy that was the Fed, what was his name again? I mean, if we had freaking
Inciting
Justly in here,
violence,
he knows all about
inciting
this.
violent words. Yeah.
So you do think it was a Fed surrection? That's interesting.
Who, me? Not me.
Yeah,
No, I don't know if I don't think it was. I don't necessarily think it was the feds. I don't. I honestly just believe that people got riled up on Trump's words and did what they thought he
I
wanted
don't
them to
think.
do.
Yeah,
And I'm
maybe
pretty
they
sure
were riled up, but Trump didn't tell them
they.
to attack. And also, what do you think about the pardons? I mean, no one got charged with murder. They did 4.5 years. And some of my friends are attorneys and lawyers. They said, "Bro, do you know how long you get in prison for assaulting someone? You'll get like a day in prison, and you'll get let out. Just because
Well,
some of these
it
people
was an
assaulted
insurrection.
cops,
They tried to take over the Capitol. It's different. I can.
but
I
they're
would.
they
I
were
would agree with
protesting. They
you.
broke windows. Why should they get
Listen.
longer than four
Hold on a
years?
second.
4 years is
Hold on a
plenty of
second.
time.
Hold on a second, Graham. Hold on. It's different. 4 years, I don't know. 4 years might be enough. I don't know what the charge is for assaulting police
I mean,
officers.
how
That's what
long
some
would
of
you
these
give them?
people. The, I I don't know. I don't know. But hold on, before we get into how long I would give them, I don't think that's that relevant. But respectfully, I'm sorry. But it was an insurrection. They tried to take over the government. That's what their goal was to take over the Capitol. That's pretty fucking illegal. I don't know how many years you should get for that, but that's what that was. That's what those people believed that they were doing. They were trying to take the country from our government. That's what they were
No,
doing.
I don't.
So,
I haven't seen any
and
evidence
they
because
believe.
if
You
they
don't see
were
any evidence
thinking they
what?
were gonna take, they didn't even. A lot of them, the people that no one got a charge for shooting at cops. No one was shooting at cops. Now, when they came to the ICE agents, they came with guns. They came shooting at the ICE agents. They shot numerous ICE agents. Now they thought they were throwing
I
over the
don't
government.
listen. I
People
don't think
that come with
people
no guns that aren't actively shooting at law enforcement. I don't think they are trying to take over the country.
We're not talking about QAnon. Fuck you, you super tatted fuck. Fuck. Oh fuck. Fuck you.
Okay,
Fuck.
I don't really know too much, but
Ah.
about that whole situation. But I would like to hear. There is a
Okay.
great second one. Black Lives Matter. What do you think about the owner of one of the owners of Black Lives Matter being
Oh
a
fucking
white
Christ,
lesbian
blimey.
woman, and she was buying
Uh,
mansions with that money?
yeah, no, I don't like any of that. I don't like any of what was going on. With the corruption in Black Lives Matter. I don't like the institution of Black Lives Matter. I did agree with the movement, with the idea of Black Lives Matter, which, again, to clarify for anybody who needs to know, all it was to spread awareness
Police brutality.
of yes, police brutality, but specifically spreading awareness of the, I don't want to use the word oppression, but
Police
basically just
violence.
the,
Uh,
yes, police violence was a big part of it, but it's basically it has to do with like a lot of the, I'm really high right now, so I can't think of certain words, but it, black people go through a lot of shit in this country that just goes unaddressed. Basically, black people still go through a lot of shit that's because of us being black that goes unaddressed. People just write it off. That's what Black Lives Matter mean. It gets written off and put under the rug. That's what saying that the lives
Civil
matter means.
injustice? Question mark.
That is, civil injustice is
Civil
a
rights?
good way to
Question
put
mark.
it. Civil injustice is a good way to put it. Yes,
Well,
is
what are your
I don't think
thoughts
that
on
sums it up
people saying
entirely.
all lives matter? Because I noticed a lot of Black Lives Matter supporters get really offended. They think that's like a racist comment to say all lives
Um,
matter.
I don't think that really matters too much to get caught up on. My opinion on it, like people saying it, is I really okay. So some people, I do think there might have been a movement of like people to use that to, not might have. There were definitely some people using it to minimize Black Lives Matter. I think that's fucking stupid and disgusting. I don't think you should be doing that.
But it says
I
all lives matter, not just the black ones.
Like I said, some people were using it to exactly what I just said. Some people were using it to minimize Black Lives Matter.
I
Some people
cannot
were
neither
doing that.
confirm or deny that.
Um, I I do believe
Poor
that
people's
every
lives matter.
yes they do. I do believe that all lives matter. Um, you have to be high to be a Democrat supporter. That's wild. Anyways, I do believe that all lives matter. Everybody believes that all lives matter. I don't think anybody, except for racist people, believe that any life matters more than, more than another one, other than, thinking about your family or something like that, or if you're thinking logically or some shit. But uh,
Here's
the
another
my
great
point
question for
my
you.
hold on,
Sorry, what was your point?
my point is that all lives matter wasn't really necessary for Black Lives Matter. That's why people had such a reaction to it. Nobody needed to say that all lives matter in order for us to understand that Black Lives matter.
That used to be
It
like
was,
rage bait in 2015, 2016.
yeah, but go ahead. What was that question?
No, I was gonna ask you. Fuck. What was I gonna say?
Sorry.
I was gonna say like, no, it's okay. I interrupted you. You were already saying something. I was gonna say like, what do you think about freak? Wait. Um, God fucking damn it. Let me scroll through these comments. Maybe I'll think about it in a second.
All lives aren't being unfairly harassed by the police. Patrick is very, very correct by that. That's the point. Yeah. Pet X Smart. Damn. I don't know. Um,
Shit, I was just about to think of it. Brain not
give me a
computing.
scale and I'll tell you.
Obama 2028.
Hey, let's go. Obama 2028. Let's go. Black Power.
Hit that like. Oh yeah, I remember my question now. A lot of
Hmm.
I'm not. I'm gonna use this word sparingly, but when I say black supremacist, I'm sure there are like black supremacists. Maybe you disagree, but a lot of black supremacists
Hmm.
say that like you can't, like black people can't be racist. Do you agree with that or no? Because I think
I
all races can be
completely.
racist.
Okay, so when I look up the definition of racism, okay? In the book, it says racism is the belief that one race, your race, is superior to
Hmm.
another race,
I agree.
and something else along the lines of that. I do believe that anyone is capable of that. I do not understand when racism became you have to be able to act on it in order for it to be racism. Otherwise, it's just prejudice. I don't believe that. Um, there are white people who can be racist and do things, or just be racist. There are racist things that white people can do. There are racist things that anybody can do. Um, you don't have to be like, yeah, you don't have to. Maybe racism has to be acting on it. Okay, maybe if you can say that, but I don't think you have to have like a system in order to be able to oppress someone to act on racism. I can beat someone up because they're Indian or because they're white or because they're
So
fucking
anyone can be racist then.
whatever.
That guy was lying to me
And
when he said only white people can be racist. Or
yeah,
when he
I
said
don't.
black people cannot be racist.
I've never understood that. I don't understand that. Again, I just go by the dictionary definition, and according to the dictionary definition, because I looked it up specifically because people have said this. That sounds insane to me. People can be racist. Anybody can be racist, unless you're not a piece of shit. If you're a piece of shit, you can be racist. I wouldn't necessarily call those people black supremacists, though. Some of those people probably are. Yeah, yeah, some of those people, yeah, probably are. Then I don't disagree that though that they exist. I don't agree with that either. I don't agree with uh the idea that any race is necessarily superior to another. There are like certain truths about certain things, right? There are certain truths about certain races. Like black people have melanin in their skin, which is very, very good protection from the sun. Obviously, that's true, right? I don't know if
Yeah,
that
that's
makes us
true.
necessarily superior as a race. I mean, I guess yeah, but
United States, welcome back, brother. I hope you're doing good. Cowards. Oh
who's
my
a coward?
god.
What am I?
Bro.
Maybe not me.
No, they were
Man, I be
talking to
talking
you,
about
brother.
me.
They
Oh,
said
okay.
plural.
No, oh, were they talking to us? I'm not. I'm not a coward. I don't know why you guys think I'm a coward. That'd be funny. Um, yeah. What was the other one? He said BLM, and what was the thoughts on the other one? He said he wanted us to know.
QAnon.
QAnon. Oh, fucking yeah. QAnon is just. I don't know, man. I don't really know what to think about QAnon. Or what to say about QAnon, I should say. Uh, that was obviously some crazy, weird conspiracy shit, but I don't know. They're kind of dead now, so I don't know if they're really relevant anymore.
That's what I'm saying. If you guys have any other questions or comments, drop some super chats, or if it's really good
Um,
in the comments, we'll read it.
Pet X Smart, join the Discord. I'd be in the Discord, and I would love to talk religion, but I don't think Graham likes to talk religion on here. I think he's more of political.
I will ask you, are you religious?
No, but I'm sort of educated on religion. I used to be very religious growing up. Um, I'm not anymore. Yeah,
They're
it
still
didn't seem.
lying. Maxwell is in prison, buddy.
No, she did get a work release.
No, that's incorrect. I believed it. I believe
Hmm?
the same thing as you, honestly. Don't get me wrong.
Hmm?
I
I
believed the
thought that
same
was
thing as you.
confirmed.
Huh? No, trust me. I
I thought it
saw it
was
on
confirmed.
Fox
Yeah.
News. But I did my research online. No, she did not get work release. That was
Hmm.
misinformation.
Okay. She
No,
did get
I'm
moved
being
to a very
serious.
cushy
I
prison.
reported on this. Like I'm not being misleading or anything. I did my research on
Fuzzy
Maxwell, and
Fuzzy is
she
right.
did not
Redneck
get
lives
work
do matter.
release. I thought she did get work release too, but it's not true.
Okay.
But I mean, if I'm proven wrong, you can send me an article. But I never saw
Deborah
anything about her getting work release.
Deborah Bauer, I completely agree.
Yeah, she's still in prison.
Epstein did get hella work release though, if you guys want to talk about that. Epstein didn't even serve any real prison time. He had 16 hours a day work release when he was convicted the first time of soliciting
See, Chris
prostitution
said it
from an
himself.
under.
He hates Trump. Chris Proud says, yeah, she hasn't been released. It was the crazy thing is, they say Republicans like to say, "Oh, Fox News." That's
Steve is
always
right.
true.
Steve plays his spitting facts. Neither side is right.
But
Spitting
I
facts.
watch Fox News and they literally lied. They lied on television. They said, "Well, Maxwell got work release. She hasn't got work release." That's a lie. I don't know why the fuck Fox News would say that.
Because Fox News is bad, dude. Fox News is bad reporting. Bad. Extremely biased. And
You
I don't
don't
know
think
why they would.
CNN is extremely biased? Let me guess. That's an accurate news network.
I didn't say that they're not. And I don't watch CNN. I don't watch any of the big news networks. I'm not going to lie. Mainstream,
What do you
no.
think of
So
Newsmax and Sky News, the Australian news networks?
I don't watch them, so I can't give you an opinion. I will say that I was impressed that you used Reuters earlier because that's one of my go-tos. Reuters and Associated Press are like
Reuters
where
is
I.
extremely biased too, but I like how the Democrats and the left wing people
You
like
think
to
they're
say,
biased?
no, no, it's not biased. It's the only
You think
unbiased
Reuters is
news
biased?
network. Huh?
You think Reuters is biased?
Everyone is biased. Everything is biased. Yes.
Fair, okay, fair. But what I mean is like
It's not as crazy as Fox or CNN. No, it's not as crazy as that, but they're not always 100% correct and accurate. And they are
um
biased. Yeah.
towards what? What do you think they're biased
Um
towards?
it depends it depends who's writing the article.
Okay, okay, fair enough. But
Young Turks is unbearable. I agree. I think
they are
Young
completely
Turks is.
fucking unbearable. I hate the Young Turks
I think they're more Trump leaning, but they're completely unbearable. I don't see how they gained 3 million subscribers. Completely fucked.
because they used to be more bearable back in the day. They weren't always the way that they are now. I
Honestly, I
used to
never
actually like
heard
them back in
much
the
of
day.
them.
Yeah, no, I used to actually really like the Young Turks for a long time. I was a big fan of the Young Turks when I first got into politics back in like 2016. They were pretty all right,
I like them.
but
They don't like Trump. Chris, you're literally the only person here. We have Democrats, Republicans, Libertarians, everyone commenting right now, and none of them like Turks. Oh my
okay,
God,
yeah.
Chris, you just hate
Shoot,
anyone that
man,
doesn't like
listen.
Israel.
Okay, so the point that I was making about Epstein getting that work release and stuff, I'm glad somebody reminded me. But the lawyer, what I can't remember. I think it's the Trump's head lawyer right now is the same guy who got Epstein that sweetheart deal. Either that or Trump appointed him to
I
some.
don't think
Trump
that's
appointed him
true.
to some. No, it's true. No, it is exactly true. Trump appointed him to some position in his cabinet in the White House with him.
I don't think that's
The
true
same
either.
guy.
I would have
It's
to fact
100%
check
true.
you on
Look it
that.
up. Fact check me. Fact check me right
I'm
now.
lazy.
Do it.
What do I look
Do it
up?
right
What
now.
do I
Stop
look
being
up?
lazy.
What do I look
Um,
up?
I think it's Alex Acosta. Somebody has it. Somebody has the Somebody in the comments help us. Give us what we need to Google. I believe it's Alex Acosta's sweetheart deal Epstein, right? Alex Acosta's sweetheart deal Epstein. I think that's it.
Alec Acosta.
Alex, yeah, Alex or Alec. I think it's Alex. Alex, yes, Alex Acosta.
Was he Epstein's lawyer or was he the victim's lawyer?
He was Epstein's lawyer, and he got Epstein a sweetheart deal. He got Epstein this deal where he would serve, I think it was like 2 years, through 2 or 3 years or some shit. But he got work release where he could leave jail for 16 hours a day and go to his office and work.
Well, either way, just because you are someone's lawyer doesn't mean you agree with them. I mean, we have a paralegal in the chat right now, and we have
No,
a lawyer in the
I'm
chat right
just.
now.
You don't think it's weird that Trump would appoint that guy, and also he was friends with Jeffrey Epstein for like 15 years? And he said and did all those things that he's been
This
saying
was
and
in
doing about Jeffrey
2020.
Epstein,
Let
and
me
he's
read
not
you an
releasing the
article from
files.
CNN. Well,
Uh
if you
huh.
want to talk about Epstein for a second, we can talk about how Trump cooperated with the FBI in 2006, and he cooperated with the victims. of Epstein and his lawyer to get Epstein sentenced in 2006, 2007. But here's another article pertaining to this guy. This was in 2020. This is from CNN. We both don't like
This
CNN, but I'm going to read you
lawyer
the
also
article
gave
anyway. A
Trump
Department of
helped him get
Justice.
sentenced to a sweetheart deal where he basically spent no time in jail.
Yeah, I get that, but that doesn't mean that he likes Epstein. Lots of lawyers
Where
work for
where he
murderers,
was
sex offenders.
where he
Does that
was
make them a
able to
sex
go to
offender?
where he went to his off he was going to his office and still inviting young girls to his office. This is like documented.
Okay,
So he
does
was
that
still
mean
doing the
Alex Acosta is also a criminal because he's
No,
a
I'm not saying
lawyer and he
I'm
represented a
I'm
criminal?
not saying Alex Acosta is a criminal. What I'm doing is pointing
What's
out
your point
yet
then? You're
another.
saying that a lawyer that
I'm
defended
telling you what my
Epstein
point
works for
is.
Trump?
I was literally in the middle of you
Just because you're
telling
an
you my point.
attorney for like a criminal means you shouldn't work with the president?
My
Is that your
point
point?
my point is that Trump is too far connected to this Epstein thing to be completely innocent, or it's for people to think that he's completely innocent. There should be a lot of scrutiny under him. He should be under a
There
microscope.
is
He
a
should be
lot of
being
scrutiny, in my
investigated.
opinion,
He
too
should
much
be
scrutiny.
he should be being investigated. I think there's
He
enough
has been
plausible.
investigated. They reviewed the files, and no one said he's done anything wrong.
Well, his
Bill
DOJ
Barr,
said he
whatever
was
his
in the
name was,
files.
says that Trump is innocent.
His DOJ said he
And
was
can
in
we
the
also
files. And
remember that Trump?
also, if you want to talk about Bill Barr, let's talk about Bill Barr. All right, Bill Barr's dad was who? Donald Barr, right? Who got Jeffrey Epstein his first job at a fucking university where Jeffrey Epstein first started preying on young women, right? Who wrote two fucking crazy pedophilic ass books
Well, either way, we can't forget
about
that Trump
millionaires.
got
He
Epstein
wrote he
arrested
wrote
twice.
he wrote two books. He wrote two books about millionaires running
Listen, I don't know
pedophile
much
rings.
about Bill Barr or his dad or his family. All I'm saying is a lot of people are
I'm
saying
just
Trump is
saying.
innocent. And also, if
Mhm.
you want to say, "Oh, Trump's too connected to Epstein," I mean, like I said before, he was president when Epstein got
Bill
arrested in
Bill Barr who
2019.
went to summer camp. Bill Barr who went to summer camp with Epstein. That Bill Barr
Once
who went to
again, the same president that got Epstein arrested and put in prison twice.
the same president that did what? That got Epstein put in prison twice.
Yeah.
There was
Yes,
nothing
he
he could
ended up
do.
getting a work release, but he did do a little
Epstein
bit
got
of a.
caught. Epstein got caught. What
Yeah,
could
and
Trump
Trump kept him
do?
in prison. He testified against Epstein, but let's move on to another topic.
Trump
This
was
whole
also
Epstein thing is
president.
dry.
Fair enough, but I will say that Trump was also president when Epstein died.
Killed himself, right?
He was in right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
What
Yeah.
are you
Let's
gonna
move
say?
on.
What
Yeah.
are you gonna say?
What the Epstein killed that I don't know if he killed himself. We don't know for sure. We don't have the evidence to prove whether or not he did.
I don't know about that
What
either.
the weirdest piece of evidence I will say that I'm aware of is that his larynx was crushed, which is not common when you self lacer or when you when you kill yourself through strangulation.
Florida is safe. It's one of the states that don't let you cut off your kid's penis because you think they're transgender. And also, Chris, I mean, I don't know what you have against, but this is the last thing I'm going to say. It's not even really too real. It's just Acosta. If you're a lawyer and you
Like
represent a
'07
criminal,
Dustley.
huh? What did Dusty say?
No, Chris said that guy sucks. Why did Trump hire him? He's like '07 Dustley.
Chris, if someone's a lawyer and they represent a criminal, does that mean they should never have any political position? Because lots of criminal defense attorneys represent criminals. That's their little job. Criminal defense attorney?
I was about to say like just because of the nature of the job, I can't really say that, but because like your job is to defend people, like that's what lawyers are. Um, but you can't prove that somebody is a criminal unless like you prove it. You have to prove it in order to prove it. That was dumb. But so yeah, I don't know. I think that's a little gray area when it
I'll read
comes to
this
like
comment. This is my final comment about it. Jesus, I can't believe people are still talking about this crap. Judge Engelman, Democrat, refused to release the file because there's nothing about Trump. Now, that is a fact. Do your own research about Judge Engelman. There's a few other judges that refuse to release information and
what?
court transcripts relating to it.
Okay,
But if
so what
anyone
if
has
they're in the
any
files too?
comments,
I will
questions,
say
drop
what if
some
they're in the
super
files
chats.
too?
Let's hear some super chat questions, guys. He's breaking up. He's breaking up, guys. If you guys want to see me do 300 to 400 push-ups, drop a $20 super chat, somebody.
I'm back, I think.
Yeah, you're back.
Yeah, no, I will say, what if those Democrats are just in the files too? What then? What if those Democrats and Trump are in the files? Because his
So what? Judge
DOJ,
Engelmeyer is in the files? Is that what you're saying?
yeah, whoever you're talking about, I don't know who that person is. I don't know what. Oh, yeah, but according
Sure,
to what you're
Chris, you can come
saying,
on
yeah,
after.
yeah. What if those people are? What if those people are just in the files too? You know,
That would be a crazy coincidence that three different judges were both in the files.
it's yeah. I mean, we do keep claiming that judges are corrupt, right? Even MAGA keeps saying that. Well, specifically, MAGA is saying that judges are
Everyone
corrupt.
says that.
But
Of course the judicial system is corrupt. I mean, the Democrats used to be
yeah,
the main people that were saying that. They're like, the police are corrupt, the justice system is corrupt. And then when Trump got charged, no, all of a sudden the justice system's always correct, always right. But before then, the Democrats were saying, yeah, the justice system is corrupt. Cops, man, we got to defund the police. And as soon as something happens to Trump, no, hell yeah, we love the police, we love the judges.
that I don't know. It's not really the same. Um, we people want to defund the police. All right, so the idea behind defund the police is that the police aren't very effective, and first of all, and it's two different things too. It's police and the judicial system, right? So people feel that the police aren't effective in what their stated purpose is, which is like protecting people. They don't believe the police are effective in that. So defund the police, give them less because they seem to hurt more than they help. That's the philosophy behind that, or that at least that's a philosophy behind that, in my opinion, the main one, the leading philosophy. But
Chris, sorry to
when
interrupt
it
you, but
comes,
Chris, you want one substantive criticism of Trump from Tracy? If you drop a $5 super chat, Chris, I will demand Tracy criticizes Trump, and I can promise you she will answer. Okay,
um,
continue. Sorry to interrupt your thought, but the comments are going crazy.
you're
I
good.
said
Yeah,
I'll
it's a
get
lot
her
of
to
comments.
respond, Chris. Just drop me a $5 super chat. I'll demand she answers you.
but
She'll do it.
but yeah, on the side of politicians, and corruption, I do believe that they should face judicial punishment for their crimes. They should be punished, and yeah, just that simple. Yeah, they should be punished. I don't understand like why anybody should not face the law. And again, it's we're talking about judges and police. There is an argument to defund the police or fund the police in a different way. I wouldn't say necessarily defund the police. I do think there needs to be some sort of like a and, like the police as they are now kind of fucking suck ass. Everybody agrees with that. But there should be some
Defund the
sort of
Democrat
system.
police.
There should be some sort of that's funny. There should be some sort of system for protection of innocent people. Like there should be somebody who can come to your aid if
It's
somebody is
called the
assaulting you.
police.
Right, but what I'm saying is my point that I'm making is, or what I'm trying to say is that I'm making a critique of the police. The police are not as effective as they could be. One thing, and they're not as organized as they should be. Like the police are really fucked up and poorly trained. They're not trained on dealing with people in like emotional situations. You know what I'm saying? Which is what they deal with all the time. They're not set up to do what they do. They're not set up to do what they do. They're trained mostly for like violent interactions, and they teach you how to use a gun. They barely teach you any real self defense, right? Like any cop should be a fucking blue belt in jujitsu. Like straight up, you shouldn't have to like get into fucking street fights with people. You should be able to wrap them up and restrain them with your
I got
arms,
two
with your
things to say
hands.
about that. A couple things to say about
It's
that.
mhm.
But I want to read the super chat first. Substantive critique of his policies, Tracy, and governance. Go. There's critiques. Come on, let's hear some critiques, Tracy. If they only had the funding to be trained properly, let's defund them.
Dang, Miles, you have a very good
You don't
estimation of
want to
time. It's
defund the
been almost two
police,
hours.
Andrea. You don't. You're just joking. You don't want to defund them. I think you're being sarcastic. But do you
I
know how
think the
long it
police need to
takes
be
for the?
reformed.
I mean, of course, it depends on which city and which state. But do you know how long police train for?
Not very long in most cases.
How long do you think? Just take a guess.
I've heard this before. I'm pretty sure it's like 6 months, if that.
Actually, I
I think
don't
it's
even think
shorter in
they
some
train for
cases.
that long. But that
Is
that I think that's pretty fairly accurate. But I'm not
I
hundred
think it's
percent
shorter.
sure.
I think I've heard shorter in some cases, but I've heard like 6 months police academy programs. But I think the most common one might be
And to
3.
become a blue belt in jiu-jitsu, bro, that takes years.
Hmm.
We wouldn't have any police.
Yeah, maybe not literally a blue belt, but that I'm just making a point. I'm just making a point, really, when I say that. But and
The
maybe
average
shit,
police
you should
training
have
is
to.
around 18 to
You should
22
have to be.
weeks.
Hold on a second, though. Hold on. I'm so. You said 20 to 22 weeks,
18 to 22 weeks. They
so
were
about six
reformed and
months.
now it's community-oriented policing now.
Whatever. That's not true. Anyways, um, yeah. I don't know
Chris,
how
she
long it
gave you an
takes to.
answer. She said he's throwing a lot of shit at the wall. We will see what sticks.
So maybe Chris could actually speak on this a little better because I don't know like how long it takes to become well educated on the law, but the police should be very well trained on the law, which a lot of police are not. There are plenty of videos of police not knowing that you shouldn't be out on the streets telling people what they're doing is illegal if
Well, I
you're
do agree with you on that because
uneducated.
police will literally go up to
So,
people with cameras and they will straight up lie to your face. They'll be like, "It's
mhm,
illegal to record right here, sir. It's
yep,
illegal." There's too many videos like that on YouTube.
yeah, way
Someone
too
will
many.
come up to you. They'll say, "It's illegal to record right here. It's illegal to record right here," and then you call
Right.
them out for their bullshit and they just walk away because they know they're lying.
Right. So, I do think you should have to go through extensive training to actually be well educated on the law. Some police are lying to you. Some police are just wrong. They think that the law is one thing that it's not. So, however long
Some
that
lawyers
takes,
are wrong
and
too, by the way. Lots of lawyers are wrong and they don't know what the fuck they're
fair
talking
enough.
about and they're stupid. Sorry.
I just don't know how long it takes to become well educated on the law. I don't know how
Chris,
long it takes to like
how long does it take to become well educated
to
on law?
become.
I would argue with you after even after
Yeah.
lawyers graduate law school and
Hmm.
pass the bar exam, I would argue that a lot of them still are not well educated on the law even after they become licensed attorneys. That's
That's
just my
fair, and
argument.
from I think I have heard before. I don't know how true this is, but I think I have heard that lawyers do have to like constantly reference laws and stuff like that. They don't know the law like off the top of their head like
And
that, but
laws are constantly
they
changing as well.
right. So they always have to do new research too. But it's there is like a basic understanding of laws that you should have if you're going to be going around arresting people for doing things that are quote unquote illegal. So that however long that takes, you should be doing extensive training in other areas too the whole time that that's going on, and maybe even more areas that they haven't given people training in, like as a police officer. And now, so unless you want to like give other people some of these jobs and like deploy these people with the police or something, but people you should have somebody who knows how to deal with people's emotions, like somebody
How
who's
would either
trained.
one of you know shit about being a lawyer? Well, first off, I've interviewed two lawyers in the past week on the show alone and one paralegal. Two lawyers, one paralegal studying to become a criminal defense lawyer. And we've talked about the law and shit like that for literally hours on end. I'm not saying I'm an expert, I'm not saying I know a lot, but I kind of have a little bit of the insight of, what it's like to be a lawyer. Also, people in my family are lawyers. Well, let me read the super chat. Most of
I specifically
lawyers is
said
acting and playing with facts. Chris, do you think I would
I
be a good
guess
lawyer? I hate to say it, but I think I'd be a really good lawyer.
I specifically said that I'm not educated enough on the law to talk about it.
I'm
So I don't
not
know why you're saying that
educated
about
on it.
me.
I'm just saying,
I just
I have something to say about
no, I'm
lawyers
just
and
responding to
whatnot.
what homie said. Like I'm not. I
How
never
would either one
professed
of you
to.
know
Yeah.
shit about being a lawyer? Like I said, I have lawyers in
Yeah.
my family. Literally, Chris Proud, he's been on here many times. He's a lawyer, he's an attorney. I literally had Destiny's ex girlfriend on my stream yesterday. She's a licensed attorney in Florida. She's a lawyer,
Wait,
a
she's
criminal.
legit Destiny's ex girlfriend. That's funny.
Yeah, I mean, I can send you the video. She was on Destiny streams. She did a bunch of interviews with Destiny. She was on Fresh and Fit podcast.
Oh, fuck those guys.
Yeah, fuck those guys. I'm with you, bro. Fuck those guys.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Like, I love
But
how Miami Thoughts are like, Miami Whores are like, yeah, I was on Fresh and Fit. Congratulations, honey. You want a gold medal?
yeah, yeah, I'm not gonna talk about Fresh and Fit right now. But yeah, I'll talk about maybe one or two more topics. Then I'm gonna get
Okay,
out of here.
cool, cool. What do you want to talk about? If you
Uh,
guys have any questions, comments, drop some super chats.
yeah, or if anybody wants us to talk about anything in particular, are y'all just hanging out, or do you have points that you're advocating?
We've
Anna, we
advocated lots of points so far. I mean, I guess you're just joining in.
yeah, you might just be joining in, but we have talked about a few things. There have been a few chill moments though. But give us a point. De decommodified housing. I don't know what decommodified housing means
I don't.
exactly.
I also don't know what that is.
I
Chris
am
would
I am
probably
a
know what that is.
fucking
He's a
I'm a
landlord and eviction attorney. He would
I'm a
probably
fucking thumb.
tell us.
I'm a fucking thumb. Could you break it down in an
Chris,
easier
can
to
you tell us
understand
what
way?
decommoditized is? Fresh and Fit taught me how to be a man. Andrew Tate taught me how to tell a bitch to make me a sandwich. That's pretty funny, but you really shouldn't idolize people like that. Idolize God.
Yeah.
Or either worship God and idolize God or look up to a better role model in general, or
Andrew
both of those
Tate is
things.
yeah, Andrew Tate is not a good role model. State-owned housing available for cheaper because governments don't have to worry about profit. I am all for that. That's 100% something we should have, and it would not be hard to do. And
Try
the
again,
reason
Jimmy. You try to drop a $20 super chat, it won't let me. Jimmy, leave the live stream, try to click back on,
Anna
because I
spitting
would really, really
facts.
appreciate that, brother. Really, really
Yeah,
appreciate it.
yeah,
That would make my Friday night. If you can log off the live stream and come back in, that
yeah.
would be good, bro. Try again.
I think if you want okay, so if you want to like preserve the ego of some capitalists, you can keep some privatized housing, but I do think that like non-privatized housing should be an option for people 100%. I think it's ridiculous that this country has so many empty houses that no one's living in, that are just abandoned, empty lots that are abandoned, apartment buildings that are abandoned, hotels abandoned, just left to rot that people could be living in that no one's living in. I think the government. I don't see any problem with the
I
government
agree. I
taking those
agree.
over. Yeah, taking those over, reforming those, and letting people
Jimmy,
live there
join the
who.
Discord and I can send you my PayPal information. Or, like I said, you can log off the YouTube app, swipe up, try to join back in, and you can try to drop that super chat again.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that completely. Decommodified housing, Anna. Yeah, I think that's something we should definitely do as America. I think it's something we can do. It's very feasible. So like if you disagree with Kamala's tax credit thing, all right, that's fine. Why not do that instead? I think that's a great alternative to that.
Squatters get to live in owned homes when the owners are out of towns and they won't get punished. Yay! Double tap that screen. Like, subscribe, guys. Sorry you're upset about it,
Yeah,
Richie. It's unfortunate. You could try it too. Just make a YouTube page and start talking on here every day. You can do it, brother.
yeah. How you feel about that, Graham? You agree or what?
Um,
Decommodified housing? You think it should stay privatized or?
I don't really know too much about that. All I'll say is it sounds like it's going to cause a lot of government, cause the taxpayers a lot of money. But what I will say is we should ban Vanguard and BlackRock from purchasing all these private housing. That's mostly raising the rents and raising the home prices. I think we both agree on that.
Yeah, we can definitely agree on that. That's surprising. I didn't expect you to say that. That's crazy.
I
Yeah.
mean, why the fuck would I want BlackRock or Vanguard to be buying houses? I mean, that doesn't help the
Well,
small investor. That doesn't help the business investor. All that helps is the
right.
fucking $1 trillion companies.
I mean, Graham, you can ask that question, but then I would have to say, why did you vote for a billionaire who's had six bankruptcies, doesn't understand the
Because
common
I can
man who
answer
was
that
born
question.
rich? You know what I mean? It's
Yeah, he's been born rich, but he had a lot of struggle. There's a difference between rich kids that never struggled and someone like Trump that
he Trump had a
lost it
lot of
all
help.
6 times. He struggled a lot.
Trump had a lot of help. He made a lot of connections early. A lot of those,
That is true. That is
a
true.
lot
It's all
of
true. But
a
he
lot
was
of rich
he
connections
was
early
given
that put him
more
in a
than
lot of
me and
good
you.
places. He was
He's
given.
also. I would also argue that he struggled more than me and you. I don't know your struggle. You don't know my struggle. But this man has been. He's fought in thousands of legal cases. He's lost billions of dollars. He's been divorced. About the only thing he's never really
Listen,
experienced is about 10 or 20 years in a prison cell, and he was pretty
most
damn
most
close to
of
that.
most of this controversy and struggle that he's experienced, he's brought onto himself. For one thing.
I mean, you
Second
can
of
say
all,
that about anyone.
yeah, maybe, but
Everyone's
like you can't say
everyone's
that about
life is just
anyone.
uh,
Like
everyone's life
Palestinians
is
didn't
just their
bring
own fault
genocide
at
onto
the end of the
themselves,
day.
right? Like you can't say that Palestinians brought a genocide to themselves. Can't say that. You can't say
Like I said,
they.
they attacked Israel
It's
first, so yeah, they
no, no,
kind
no.
of did bring.
Hamas attacked
Yeah, once
Israel,
again, they brought
and
that on
and Ham,
themselves.
and
Even
Hamas
if
and
you make a
Israel,
stupid small mistake, you should always take self accountability.
the people, the people of Hamas, the innocent children who didn't even vote, who can't even
Palestine,
vote.
the grown men of Palestine. I'm not saying children should take responsibility. They don't know the difference between
It's
right from wrong, much
well, well,
less
that, well,
responsibility.
well. That's
I'm
that's the
saying
point that I'm
grown
making. Is
men.
that like they're caught in between. There are plenty of innocent people. There are plenty of grown men who probably didn't vote for Hamas and are still caught in that. You know what I'm saying? Grown men, women, and the like. So it's I don't know. You can't just say that like that. You can't just say that.
Fair enough. Fair enough. But like I said, if you want me to talk about why I would vote for someone that had seven failed businesses, I believe Trump had started 555 businesses and only seven of them failed. I've looked into this before. He's had a 96 or a 97% success rate.
A few
And
of
the
them were
fact
scams
that
too.
if you can go to zero and go to negative $2 trillion and come back richer than ever multiple times, that's even a bigger success of a businessman. A businessman that just got rich once and never lost it all before, he doesn't know what it's like to struggle.
It's okay. That's different than like you constantly lose and
He doesn't
like
constantly lose. Like I said, he started literally hundreds of
that's
businesses and only seven failed. You have to fail
but
a lot
but
to
he also
succeed.
he's okay. So I feel like there are businessmen, and somebody might have to correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like there are businessmen who've
That
had.
never failed and are perfect at everything and they're
No,
just
that's
so
not what I'm.
fabulous.
No, that's not what I was about to say. I feel like there are businessmen who are more successful than Trump, who have had more success than Trump, without as many bankruptcies and like failed businesses and scams and cons that have been like
Scams and
clearly out there.
cons?
Yeah, Trump University.
How is that a scam or con? To be fair, I don't know the whole history of it.
I don't know the complete history of it either, but he wasn't offering any real education there, from what I understand.
You call
But
a
he was.
liberal arts degree or you call a climate change degree real education? I
What do
think
you
half
What
of
do you
these
mean?
universities are just selling
What's
you pieces of fucking paper. Talk
what's
about
in that degree?
scams.
You might be right. You might be right, but what's in that degree? If they're teaching you like substantive things that you can use to like actually affect change in the world, if they're teaching you about climate change and how that affects the world and what you can do
I
about
think
it,
that's a
as
bullshit degree. I think it's useless. I
why
don't think they're
why is
teaching
it
you anything.
you don't think
I would
climate
argue
science is important?
there's no way you can say that Trump University is any worse than XYZ. Yeah, I am an alumni from Trump University. Don't expose me
Wait
like that.
wait a second.
I got the business degree there. My bachelor's at Trump University before it closed down.
Wait a second. What are you saying here? What are you saying?
What do you mean? What am I saying? I'm
Repeat
saying if you
repeat
have
your
failed
pointer.
businesses, why does that make you a bad businessman? Because you failed seven businesses and you got
Oh no,
hundreds of
just having
successes.
it. Just no, 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 no. That's not what I'm saying. Just having a failed business does not make you a failed businessman, or doesn't make you a bad person or anything like that. What
So
I'm saying is
having a
that Trump.
university that
What
people
no, what I'm
was
saying is that
bullshit.
Trump. What I'm saying is that Trump has a history of shady business practices, bullshit, in his businesses.
You can say that
He's
about
got a history.
virtually any businessman. You can call them all
Yeah,
shady and
maybe
scammers.
some, but yeah, if that's the case, if you can say that about
You
virtually
haven't
any
named one
business,
real criticism yet. Any
if
Prager U alumni? No, I'm not a
well, you keep
Prager U
interrupting me.
alumni.
First of all, I'm
Sorry.
trying to.
My
You keep
apologies.
interrupting me, um, but that isn't. I'm not saying that that necessarily makes him a bad person or a bad businessman. But when you have all these like negatives on like how you operate business, you know what I'm saying? I don't think that you should be looking at this businessman in particular of like, yeah, this is the one that we want to run the country. You should be looking at somebody who has a way better track record than Donald Trump if you're going to be saying we need a businessman to run the country. Second of all, I what the fuck was I gonna say? I think I lost it.
There's
Um,
only about 1,500 or maybe 2,000 billionaires in the entire
mhm.
world, and you're calling Trump a bad businessman? I
Oh,
mean, like I said, you have
if
to
you were gonna
fail to get
say,
there.
if
What
you were
makes
gonna
him a bad
say,
businessman? That
fair enough. Hold
he
on.
went
If you were
bankrupt?
gonna, if you were gonna say, if you were gonna say that you could say that you could say the same thing about most business people, that most business people are corrupt in some way or whatever the fuck, then why should we have any of them in government at all? Why the fuck should we have any businessman in government, especially somebody like Donald
First
Trump?
off, first reason is because I trust a billionaire. This is gonna sound crazy. You're gonna say, "Oh my God, that doesn't sound right." But I trust a
It does sound
billionaire
pretty
before I
crazy.
trust a millionaire like Biden. Because when you only have $1 or $2 million, you can easily come along with $2 million and say, "Hey, Mr. Biden, would you like to double your net worth? I got $2 million for you." Then you'll do a deal with Ukraine or China for pennies. For
Okay, but
pennies.
Trump is still accepting a Qatari jet and doing crypto scams. Like,
That
bro, what do you,
first off, a cryptocurrency novelty is not a crypto scam. No
dude? He did a
influencers. No
meme
one's
coin.
in charge of that.
He did a meme coin, which is literally a scam.
It's not a scam. It's
What
a novelty.
functionalities?
It's like a
What
lottery ticket.
functionality?
Is a lottery
What
ticket a scam?
functionalities? What functionality does Trump's cryptocurrency have other
I
than
don't
buying them
know, but there's
other
celebrity
than buying
meme
them a
coins.
dinner?
He never
Other than
claimed it
buying them
as
a
a
dinner,
legitimate investment. He
what
never said invest a
functionality?
thousand dollars and get $10,000 back. Now that would be a scam. If he said
wh-
invest your life
What I'm
savings and get money back, yeah, that would be a scam. But he never said that.
Okay, okay, whatever. What I am telling you is that he literally held a dinner, right? For the top donors to that coin, for the top
I
buyers of the
don't
coin,
think it
not
was
donors.
a dinner. I think it was like
Yeah,
a White House walkthrough or something.
it
Either
was a
way, that's his
dinner.
right to do. George
That's what he
Washington and
called it.
many other presidents had businesses when they were president. What's your point that you're trying to
Having
make here?
No, having a business while you're president isn't the problem. He running a crypto scam I'm so sorry, creating a cryptocurrency and then allowing people to purchase that currency, anybody in the world, and then anybody in the world who purchases the highest amount gets to come and have a dinner with you. That is a little conflict of interest ish, is what I'm saying. That's pretty fucked. It's
That's your
a little bit
opinion. George
corrupt.
Washington was a
It's not just
businessman.
my opinion. That's actually that's weird. It's corrupt. It's not just my opinion. It's true. That's a conflict of
That's your
interest.
opinion. There's no
That's
criminal
a conflict of
charges. There's
interest.
nothing criminal against that. Many other
Maybe okay.
presidents
There's no
had
charges yet. Fair enough. There's no charges yet. I agree with you
Many
there.
other
But
presidents
it's a
had
conflict.
businesses and they let their
You
business
cannot.
associates and people that invested into them come to the
That's
White
not what.
House.
It's not.
I'm sure if I
uh,
digged deep enough, one of Biden's business associates got to come to the
Okay,
White House.
I don't agree with that either. I think that's a conflict of interest. I
Why
don't think
didn't Biden donate his salary?
you said what?
Because why didn't Biden donate his salary? Because he was too poor to donate his salary. He needed every single penny he
Either he
could
was too
get.
poor or money hungry too. Either he was too poor or money hungry too. I don't know. That's none of my business. I
So
don't
you
give a
think
shit.
Biden was
But
money hungry? Do you think
I don't
Biden did
know.
deals with China and Ukraine?
You said say that one more time.
Do you think Biden did backdoor deals with China and Ukraine?
I don't know. I don't think so. I've never seen anything to point to suggest that. I don't know. I don't
There's
think
lots
so.
of evidence and articles, and also Hunter Biden worked directly with the Ukrainian government and the Chinese government. It's not a conspiracy, it's a proven fact. And they
Well,
gave millions of dollars. Don't you remember when they said, we're going to do this deal with Ukraine and China? We're going to give 10% to the big man?
No, I don't know what you're referring to.
And
I'll
then
have to read it.
Biden
I have to
called
read into
himself the
that.
big man. He did
I
it.
don't know what you're
There's a
talking
check.
about.
There was a check that was, from Hunter Biden. There's a whole video about how Biden got a $40,000 check from China. They paid Hunter Biden. Hunter
Danny,
Biden paid
respectfully,
Joe Biden's
respectfully,
brother.
I hold on a
Joe
second. I'm
Biden's
sorry.
brother paid Joe
Uh,
Biden the $40,000. This money went from hand to hand to hand to hand.
fair enough. And Danny, I'll admit when I'm not educated on a topic. I have no problem admitting that. I've said that several times, and yeah, so fuck you. But anyways,
uh,
respectfully, fuck you. But yeah,
Burisma, that's right, good sir,
I,
Burisma. That was the
I've
company that funded Joe Biden, and that's the company.
oh yeah. Yeah, listen, I told you, I'll say it 1,000 times, especially for Danny again here, who seems to have just come into the conversation, obviously by his lack of education on our history. But I don't agree with Biden. I don't like Biden. I never wanted Biden to be president. I didn't want to vote for Biden. I felt like I had to because it was either Trump or Biden. And I didn't want somebody who was associated with racist running the country. I feel like that's just fair enough.
So you say
It's
Biden was associated with the racists? You admit it. You
I,
admit
I
it.
don't well, no. I was talking about Trump when I said associated, and I meant actively associated with racist.
Biden's mentor was a
Biden had been.
KKK leader.
I did not know that, but Biden had been fighting strong for for civil rights and stuff like that. Biden had been fighting strong for that when he was running
That
and
is
shit.
also not
At
true.
least no. I just mean recently.
No,
I'm
I mean in the
historically
80s and
no.
90s, he was against. He was fighting against that
Yes,
kind of
I
shit.
yes, I agree with you. I'm talking about recently. Recently he's been on that side. And so I figured it'd be better to have this guy who was historically fucked up, but is currently fighting for that kind of stuff, as opposed to the guy
I
who's
don't see how he
actively
fought
fighting
or
against
did
that kind of
anything for the
stuff.
black community. I'm gonna be
And
honest with
that's
you.
well, what what I mean is that he's more for social programs and stuff that will benefit black people, as opposed to Trump trying to get rid of things that will benefit black people.
Well, I will say he's trying to get rid of Section 8 housing so you can only use it for
like
2 years. Only two
like
years
defunding,
maximum.
like for I don't
Hunter's
know.
laptop admitted it. They both have all kinds of felonies documented.
Maga, do you realize if you could be honest about Trump corruption, you'd have more credibility on
What
legitimate corruption,
corruption?
like with Hunter
What
Biden?
corruption,
All of
Chris?
it, dude.
Please tell me what
Okay,
corruption. A meme coin
accepting the
is not
Qatari jet,
corruption.
accepting the jet from Qatar was
That
corrupt.
is the government's jet. That is the United States of America's jet.
He gets it. He gets it when he's done being president.
That's not
And
true. He doesn't
American. That's
need a
exactly
jet like
true.
that. He has two or
And
three jets
tax.
already.
Well, that's the deal. That was the
That's
deal.
not the
And the
deal.
tax. That's the deal. And the American
That's
taxpayer
not the
money is
deal.
going to
That's
pay for.
conspiracy theory.
American taxpayer money is paying for refitting the jet, anyways. Even if that's not the
Exactly. That's
deal.
why the jet is going to the country, not to Trump.
So American taxpayer money is paying for this jet that we didn't want. Trump had already said that he had Boeing's coming. He had new Boeing's coming anyways.
It's
So
he
there was
said
no
it's going to
need
take
for
like
this.
2 or 3 more years.
But we don't need that anyways because Air Force One is
It's been
already
40
good.
years since we had a new Air Force One. Did you know that?
But we
40
didn't need another
years.
one. We don't need a new Air
It's
Force
been
One.
30 or 40 years. Yeah,
Why
we
do we need a
do.
new Air Force? Why do we need a new Air
It's
Force One?
30 or 40 years old. That's why.
What's wrong with it? Haven't they been updating it and keeping it updated and up
I
to
mean,
date
you can
and
use
stuff?
a plane from the
Like I don't
1920s
understand.
and say, what's wrong with it? It flies through the air.
No, that's not what I'm saying. A plane like Air Force One is not like just some old fucking rinky-dink World War II plane that they're pulling off the
It
fucking
is
runway
rinky dink compared to
and
modern standards. Do I know what's
uh,
wrong with it or do I know the specs of it? No, I'm not really into planes like that and I really don't care. Either way, we're the number one country in the world. We shouldn't have a number one jet. We're getting laughed at by other countries that have brand new Boeings.
okay. Anyways, we didn't need even if all that's true. My point is that we didn't need to accept a $400 jet from Qatar. From Qatar, a
Four
corrupt,
hundred
fucked up
dollar? You mean 400 billion?
400. Yeah, 400 bill. Yeah, was it billion or million?
I don't know. I maybe
400 billion.
million. Million,
I
I
think it was
think.
400
Yeah,
million.
million.
Yeah, $400 million jet. We didn't need that. We don't need that. We can get jets
And
cheaper.
even
We
let's
didn't need to
pretend
accept
for a
that.
second that
And it's
this
going
was
to it
Trump's
is going to
personal
cost
jet.
it's going to cost $800 million. It's going to cost $800 million or more to
I
refit
don't
that
think
plane
that's
to make it
true.
suitable. But look it up. Look up the numbers. Look it up.
I don't think. How can a $400 million jet take $800 million to renovate? That doesn't make much sense of why all that. But let me ask you. This is like one of the final questions I got for you.
Going to paying people. Hold on, shit. Can you hear me?
You can trash. It's really sad to see
Yeah.
you crying every day that your 12-year-old son is going to grow up knowing that his dad cries about Trump every single day. I feel bad for him. But a last thing I got to
But
say,
yeah,
do you
it's not it's not just retrofitting the plane. My bad before you say this. It's not just like the retrofitting, it's the effort and
checking it,
labor and everything that they have to yeah, that the effort
reassembling
and
it, I
labor that
get
goes
that,
into
but that
all of
doesn't
that.
that still
Yeah,
doesn't add up to that price tag. But my question was, do you think that no, I don't think of you only when you come on my chat and give me lots of engagement and comments that help my channel grow, and that I really appreciate that. But no, what I was gonna say was, can you at least admit I said that Trump did some, suspect things, some suspect business moves, but nothing was illegal, nothing was criminal charges yet regarding anything he's done in the White House. But can you at least admit that it was very corrupt for Biden to pardon his son for tax evasions, gun crimes, and things relating to prostitution charges, and his own and any other future crimes that he could do? Because you got to admit that is pretty damn corrupt. If Trump pardoned his families, if
yeah, no, I think that's corrupt. I think
yeah,
that's corrupt. Yeah,
you can't pardon your
I don't
family.
I don't have any
Also,
problem
you
saying
can't
that.
pardon
That's
people for future crimes that they may be found guilty for.
yeah, no, that's especially that. That's corrupt. Yeah, that's corrupt as
Like
fuck.
that is
But
100 times more corrupt
um,
than saying, "Hey guys, buy my meme coin. I'll sit down at dinner with like 300 people." Like, who gives a fuck if you sit down with people at dinner?
maybe, but
That's
Trump has
definitely more
done.
corrupt.
I don't think you can like write off what Trump has done because that is a more
Having
corrupt
dinner
action
with
that
someone,
Biden
I
has
don't think
taken.
is corrupt just because they have business dealings with you. Lots of presidents have had
But you're
people that,
but you're minimizing it. That's not what happened. He people were allowed to come only if they bought the meme coin. And
yes,
the people who
just
bought the
like
most,
presidents only let you
the
meet
people
with
who
them if
bought
you
the
invest a
most,
lot in their business. What's the difference?
what are you talking about? What?
Other
Presidents
presidents,
only let you meet with them if they had meetings about their businesses, that's different. If some presidents had meetings about their businesses, that's okay. But Trump isn't meeting about his business. He's having a dinner. This is what he said. He's having a fucking dinner for the top purchasers of the coin. That's
that's the
he's
same thing as
literally
investing in
that's like
someone's business and meeting with them.
not really. No, no, it's not.
That's
It's not
kind
the
of a
same.
business move.
It's not the same, bro. You can try to minimize it or make a false equivalency if you want, but that's not the same. It's not the same.
I don't know what Kushner was convicted of, but he was disbarred from being a lawyer and he was put in prison for some reason. Let's see what he was arrested for. Probably some bullshit crime that's not as bad as smoking crack or fucking minors like Hunter Biden and avoiding taxes. None of that stuff. He got charged with illegal campaign donations
Who?
in 2004, way before Trump was even
Mm,
president.
Stephen Miller.
No, this was Kushner.
Oh, Jared Kushner. Yeah. Why would you want him? Yeah. See, okay, so that's another point. I guess
But
I'll.
Hunter Biden is
I'm.
way more fucked up than Jared Kushner. There's no arguing
I'm
that.
probably. I'm probably gonna get out of here in a second. But another point that I probably should bring up is that
It's
how
not
many
double
people
standards.
how many people in Trump's circle are like have that kind of history, have some kind of criminal history or corruption history or
Biden's own
questionable
son
history
has a
like that.
criminal history, and you let that go
That's
by.
fair. That's fair. I never let that go by.
Biden
I keep
also
telling you
has
I
a
don't support.
racist
I've told you a
history. You
thousand
let that
times.
go
I've
by.
I've told you 1,000 times that I don't agree with Biden, and I wish I didn't have to support Biden in order to not have to support Trump. That I've told you that 1,000 times. Um, but there are the fuck was I trying to say? There's a lot of
Perfect
people,
way to
and
end it.
there are a lot. That's funny. Yeah, there are a lot of people in Trump's circle who have been found guilty of or are under investigation for some really fucking heinous shit in the past. Or if it's not heinous necessarily, it's like a lot of it's like suspect stuff. Like, why do you even have this person around you at all?
And
It's
there's countless
just look
amount of
into it.
people I can say that for pretty much every president.
Probably, but Trump's like party. Trump's
But
group
you're
is unique.
obsessed with Trump. Exactly.
No, Trump's
Trump,
group is
Trump,
un.
Trump.
No, Trump's unique. Trump's group is unique, and also I keep telling you again, I don't agree with this government. It's not like fuck Trump in particular, only Trump, and I agree with all the rest of government. Is just Trump I don't like. There are a lot of people that I dislike in government. As a matter of fact, I distrust most politicians, and especially billionaires too. I
I
distrust most
distrust them as
billionaires.
well, but I can tell the
So
difference between a good candidate and a shitty ass fucking drunk like Kamala Harris.
not if you think that Trump was a good candidate. He has
He
no
is a good
experience.
candidate. He's making
He has
America great
absolutely
again.
he has absolutely no experience
Any
other
final super
than
chat questions? He's about to hop off, guys. Any
yeah.
questions, super
I'm
chat
I'm not gonna get any
questions?
super chat money from those questions. You should cash at me, dude. Yeah, drunk is wild. Yeah, that is a new thing to me too, bro. I don't know who said that in the comments, but yeah, that's been new to me too.
He's in the
I had never heard
Discord.
that.
Join the Discord, guys. Everyone said that. All right, Chris,
I
I'll
had
let you drop in next. 10
I had
minutes? All
never
right.
heard that. Yeah. But but yeah, yeah. And also, one thing I do want to point out is Kamala's been pretty right about a lot of things that she said Trump would do.
Like
Like
what? What are you going to say?
love her or hate
Project
her.
2025. Project 2025.
Well, I wasn't going to bring that up, but that's a good one. Yeah, actually, he's
A Democrat
implemented a
the other
lot of
day
stuff from
said,
that.
wow, Trump's only done 13% of Project 2025, so he must be part of Project 2025.
That's
But
well, the
what were you
tracker
going to
I've looked
say?
at, the official tracker I've seen is like at like 40 something percent, but
What official
some of the
tracker? You got to send this to me.
there's like a website that's like tracking like the executive orders and stuff like that Trump has been doing and like everything that he's been doing in his administration that's like adjacent to not just adjacent but like that coincides with the Project 2025
Obama used a lot of their crap, too.
step.
Great point.
Oh well, that's not good. Anyways, yeah, yeah, it's the Heritage Foundation bullshit. Anyways, yeah. So, but you can go look at it and see like the tracker and the percentage of it that
Well,
it's
what was
done.
the other stuff you were going to say that Harris was right about?
Um, she kept saying that he was going to send the National Guard and send the army into your neighborhoods, and he's doing exactly that. He's trying to at least.
I don't
He's
remember her ever saying that. I don't know if
she
that's
said
true or
that.
not.
She said that, and she
Harris
said
should
a lot
run
of other
again,
stuff
though,
too.
since none of us really voted for her.
I don't think people really wanted Kamala Harris. People wanted somebody who wasn't Donald Trump and who wasn't everybody else. Problem with Kamala Harris is she seemed to be more of everybody else.
Incompetent and idiotic, and she couldn't hold the conversation for longer than 45 minutes.
None of what you just said is true right there, but sure, buddy.
Well, she told Joe Rogan she would only be on his show if they did an hour-long podcast, and he said, no, my shows are 3 hours long. And then she said, well, can we just talk about what I want to talk about and not answer any of your
Well,
questions?
as far as I'm aware, the reasoning for that was because she had other things that she was scheduled to do, and that's all the
Oh,
time
so
that she
she's too
had to spare.
popular to be on the biggest
No,
podcast in the world.
no, stop being a child for a second. Not that she was too
I'm being
popular.
serious.
She had other stuff that she had to do. She's pretty popular. She was the vice
She
president.
went on
Yeah.
a podcast no one's heard of before. Daddy something.
What? Um, I know what you're talking about. I can't remember the name of it either, but
Yeah, she could have gone on
it's
the
not
biggest
unpopular.
podcast in the world instead of going on that bullshit.
It's not unpopular, and I do think that she could have done better with going on different podcasts. I think she
You
should have
don't even
gone
remember
on
the
Joe
name
Rogan.
of it. How is it not unpopular? I don't know the name of it. You don't
Call her
remember it.
daddy.
Call her
It
daddy.
is
There we go.
call
Yep.
her daddy. I couldn't remember it. Yeah, um, but yeah, it's not unpopular. It's just not something that me or you would watch. We're both young males, young American males. We're not gonna watch Color Daddy.
Okay, maybe it's not unpopular. Maybe that was wrong to say, but no one really
It's
knows the
yeah.
name of it.
That's like
It's not as big as Joe
have you heard of
Rogan's.
a
So do
podcast?
not
Have you heard of
compare
a
to Joe Rogan.
have you heard of a podcast called Horrible Decisions?
It sounds familiar, but no, I haven't heard of
But
it.
right, just like call her daddy, daddy something sounds familiar, right? You wouldn't know it. I shouldn't know it. Only reason I know it is because somebody who's in that circle pointed it out to me. But it's they're reasonably popular for the people that she was trying to reach, which I think was young women. Whereas Trump was focused on young men. So it makes sense that he went on Joe Rogan and Theo Von, and I think he went on what the fuck Andrew Schultz and people like that. Which I think Kamala should have gone to those too. I think Kamala definitely should have at least made appearances in the brosphere, as they call it, the manosphere, whatever the fuck. She should
Well,
have
that's where the
definitely.
Democrats are going to be coming hard in that 2028. I heard they got like a new influencer. I forget the name of the influencer, but apparently like it's a new Democrat influencer that's trying to get in the manosphere. But the thing is, it's a 500-pound white chick. So how the fuck are men going to look up to this chick? He
What
disappeared.
the hell? Oh yeah, I'm here. I don't know what the hell that is, but
No, I
that
don't know the name of her,
sounds.
but if anyone can tell us the 500-pound fat white chick that's supposed to be the new role model for men with testosterone, quote unquote, to follow.
That might be just. That's got to be comedy. That's got to be some kind of like parody or something. I don't know, but yeah, I do think Kamala made a mistake by not hitting those circles and making her points there, because
Not Gorlock.
you got people like Buttigieg. I parody his name so much I can almost not do it. You have people like Pete Buttigieg who are actually like making good points to people like Andrew Schultz and stuff like that, who've been going on some of these podcasts and like actually making. Yes, Chris Proud. That's what I was trying not to say, but yeah,
She bought
yeah. You,
celebrities instead. That is factual.
who bought? Yeah, Kamala. I didn't like that either. I didn't like that. I don't like you bringing Megan Thee Stallion and Beyonce out. Well, I
She
don't really
paid
care about Beyonce.
TikTokers like $50,000 to
I don't know anything
influence
about
her.
that. I don't know anything about that, but I don't mind Beyonce, but I don't have a problem. I don't like you bringing like Megan Thee Stallion out. I don't have a problem with Megan Thee Stallion, her as a person, her character, but it's like the image in society. I feel like you can get better people to represent you as a candidate, better musicians to represent you as a candidate than Megan Thee Stallion. You know what I mean? I think she had Eminem come out at some point, who's also, I think that's a good person to have come out. Eminem, Beyonce, some legends like that, some like good people, and just good people like Taylor Swift. She could have had Taylor Swift out. I don't know why she didn't have Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift was behind you, like hoorah. Maybe she did, but either way, I don't like using celebrities. Either way, that being said, I don't like using celebrities to like push political points. Um, yeah, I don't like that at all. And if you're gonna say that about her though, you can't not say that about Trump. Trump bought a lot of celebrities too. Hulk Hogan.
I don't think he bought Hulk Hogan. There's no evidence of that. Hulk Hogan's been a Trump
There's
fan.
no
He's been
evidence.
Trump's personal friend since the 1980s.
There's no there. Fair enough, but there's no evidence that those
They
celebrities were
have a
bought.
long history together.
What if they were just supporting Kamala Harris? What if they actually legitimately supported the first
Well, they
black
have
woman
no
running to be
long
president?
history of knowing Kamala. They have no history of
They
hanging
don't have
out
to
with
have a long
Kamala.
history. They don't have to have a long history of knowing Kamala to support her
They've never known
politically.
Harris. And no, I'm
To
not
not be
saying
bought.
these. I'm
To
only
not be bought.
saying the
I don't
celebrities
understand.
that posted literal screenshots of Kamala paying them are the ones that are paid. I'm not claiming anyone else was paid
Ooh,
by
what
Kamala. I
celeb?
don't
Are
know.
you talking about like
Uh,
influencers and stuff that were
yeah,
paid
all
by like
over
the
TikTok,
Democratic
all over
Party?
the internet. It's all out there.
That's what
Yeah.
you're talking about, not celebrities. Okay.
I mean, yeah, they are somewhat celebrities, but yeah.
Somewhat, yeah, different. Yeah, it's different though. I know what you
Kanye
mean
is the
though.
best politician ever. He is the
Don't correct
best
them.
in
Yeah.
politics ever. He speaks facts. I don't know about that.
Yeah. Yay. Anyways, that's funny. But yeah, it's yeah, I don't know,
That is
man.
funny, but yeah.
I think some of those points are a little ridiculous. But I will say, Graham, before I get out of here, you're a little bit, at least in here, you're a little bit more balanced than you act on like in the Discord. Fair enough.
I would
Um,
say the same for you. Kamala is a
but
beautiful woman. Chris, I didn't know you liked mixed women. I didn't know you like Indian black women. That's interesting.
but but yeah, you should definitely reconsider your support for Donald Trump. I don't think he has the best interests of the American people at heart, and I say that sincerely and wholeheartedly at all. I do not think he does. As a matter of fact, I'm pretty like I feel like it's 100% obvious that he doesn't. It's hard to believe that any businessman, especially a billionaire, would have the best interest of the American people at heart.
You're right. We should
Um,
just hire a poor president. That way, when he
I
becomes president, he can take money from Israel and all these other people left and right, and he can just.
we should just make it so that money isn't an incentive. We should just make it so that I
That's
don't know. We
impossible.
need
You
to.
have the most powerful
I don't
position in the country. If you're poor,
I don't
you're gonna
think
take
so.
advantage
We
of
can
that.
I think it would take a radical change. I think it would take some very radical change on in like reforming of the government, changing how it actually works. Like which I think we really need, and I think a lot of people actually agree with that. I think most people agree
I don't think
that the
it's
government.
possible not to have the president having so much power he does secret deals. I'm not saying Trump does. I think Trump is 100% the best man for the job.
Mm-mm, I don't think so.
That
I
is
think there's.
disgusting, Chris. That is
I
absolutely disgusting. Do you agree with that comment?
what? Yeah, trans women have beautiful penises. As far as penises go, they're probably beautiful. Yeah.
Oh my god. Finally, chat convinced you to say something sus.
Luo Clark. Well, I had to do my due diligence. A long time ago, I told him I would get on here and debate him. And regardless of whether I believe you on that comment or not, I had
Next
to get
time
on
we'll have
here
to
and,
do it on
you know,
Discord. That way you can, be in front of your computer and you can fact check me in real time.
yeah, yeah. So we can actually like talk about more of this, and maybe we can have somebody who actually like is more expert on some of this stuff, like be there to be able to chime in and correct
Sure,
us.
Chris can be there maybe next time. We'll do a three-way call. Well, whoever you want. I
Yep.
don't want to. I mean, Chris isn't biased. He claims that he's like in the middle. He said he didn't vote for Harris. Chris, did you vote for Biden? You're a Biden supporter.
Chris said he just needs 10 minutes. Here, I'm gonna get off of here and let Chris come up. Yo, take care, y'all.
All right, all right. Peace out, man. Have a good night. Thank you for your time. Thanks for coming
Peace out.
on.
You too. Thanks for the invite.
I couldn't vote. Well, if you want to get his socials, he's on Discord. You can ask him any of his information. If you really like the Detroit guy, you can, go on Discord and you can cash app him some money. But Chris, I'm gonna send you a link right now. Do I have to end and restart? Probably. Yeah, I'll have to end it and restart. All right, I'm just gonna end this live stream and restart. Later, guys. I'll be back on here in 2 minutes with Chris. I'll be back, guys. I'll be back.